two. They're two grapples.
Okay, I just don't know what that,
they're two gathers.
I just don't know what that top card is.
Vessel.
It might be Vessel. You're right.
But it might be the Traverse the Uvenwald?
Yeah, it's one of those two. So
I'm not sure.
He probably just flashes back Grapple here, looking for some action.
Yeah.
Yep, and it will have Mastery, so he'll get to take 2 cards with him, should he find them. Slow rolling it for us so we can't see. And he gets a Smasher and a Pilgrim's Eye.
Those are very good hits.
Yeah, he can't smash this turn, but
we
he's
can
still...
get the Pilgrim's Eye on
I think
the
he's
floor.
going to offer the trade with Nissa for Nissa. No, he opts not to.
Well, if we hit the Pilgrim's Eye, that puts a 3rd land into our hand.
Sure.
And we definitely
just
have
one
7
away.
lands, yeah. And again, I don't think Richard has multiple different card types in his graveyard. I think it's just like
he has a bunch of sorceries and
transgress.
I think he only has sorceries, yeah.
Wow.
So he might just have to play the 3/5 as a 3/5 and just... I don't even know that does
Double
it.
block
Yeah,
with
like,
Nissa and Ishkana.
Yeah, but we're about to have another Smasher next turn, too.
Yeah.
On Ralph's side.
I don't know what gets us at it. So Richard decided that the trackers were good enough for the matchup because I see one in his hand.
Okay, Richard brought those in.
Yeah, I don't really know at what point
this is like one of those cards
that
that's...
turn around for Richard.
Yeah, it's feeling tough, I think. He's not going to be able to find an Emrakul this game with only 1 card type.
Yeah, we're going to go tracker, play a land, get a clue.
Okay. I still don't feel like this is getting us too many places, and then he just has another Nissa in hand.
Yeah. We got another Reality Smasher coming.
Yeah, we got another Smasher and flipping in the Nissa, and even getting in for 1 here is not trivial with the Pilgrim's Eye when
absolutely not
at
when trample damage is coming through.
Trample. He's gonna have 10 trample, and Richard is at 9 or at 7 basically from the Pilgrim's Eye.
Yeah.
And we only have 5.
I'm probably
toughness.
attacking with the Nissa then.
We only have 5 toughness. I think it's just game here, as long as he's not putting Richard on a removal spell.
Yeah.
But he is going to flip the Nissa.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think I just attack with the
If you
Nissa.
attack with it, I think it's game. But, I mean, this is also a pretty safe line with Richard stumbling a little bit. Okay, we plus on the Jace.
Yeah.
On the tracker.
Another just safe
Yep, very safe.
play.
And now we get to come in for 10 trample. Both creatures have to block, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he can keep the Nissa around, but then I think he goes to 1.
I don't know what he drew off of that.
Yeah, because he can't even threaten to trade because that guy's been plussed on from the Jace.
Yeah, so what is it, a 2/2 then?
It is a 2/3.
Yeah, 2/3.
Yep.
And then this is just a 2/2.
Yep.
One more point of power, and we could start jumping the Reality Smasher as well.
Guess he's just trying to figure out if he has a line here, and if so, what the best one of these creatures is to keep around. I think it's better to keep the Nissa because the card draw effect will be free, whereas Tracker you'll have to pay a mana.
We got a 2 of the Slaughter.
We do have a 2 of the Slaughter. It's just that's so bad against Pilgrim's Eye.
I don't think we have Delirium either.
No, there's no Delirium.
I just double blocks 1. Okay. So we take 6 damage total?
But it'll kill them both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just doesn't trample over for any.
Nope.
Okay, so
no
he takes 6,
damage.
goes to 2.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he had a double block. And yeah, just makes a 4/4. So a ton of lethal threats, and I think that'll be it for Richard.
Drew a Mindbender, it looks, for that turn. Yeah, I don't think... Not even a Languish would get him out of here in this spot.
Yep, just the 5/5s. Alright, so it looks like we're going to go to game... Oh, maybe not.
Richard sorting out his card types. He's got 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because maybe Ishkana...
But even with the trample, it's just far
just
too much.
Like, Ishkana can jump one of the Reality Smashers, and then the 3 tokens can jump in another one, and then he dies
to the Pilgrim's Eye.
To Ashaya and Pilgrim's Eye.
Yeah, but I like that sideboard plan. The aggressive Eldrazi seemed pretty good in this matchup, actually.
Yeah, no, the Thought Knot and the Reality Smasher become a really, really
Smasher
solid
especially.
1-2 punch, where it's like take your good removal spell and then Smasher, hit for 9.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really strong.
I wonder if Richard may come back with a different sideboard plan after seeing that. That's not something you automatically expect, I don't think.
No, definitely not. I think we brought in the To the Slaughter because we have
he has one
To
in the
the Slaughter main board. Okay. So the Transgressors definitely came in. We saw all 3 of them in that game and still got run over by Tramplers.
Yeah, I could see maybe wanting this Murder if it wasn't already in there. But other than that, his sideboard, I guess...
Still,
not too many
still
options.
soft to Reality Smashers. We're not
definitely
trading all that well with that card.
Yeah, we have no card that really trades with it other than Mindbender.
Yeah. Grasps are great in the face of Thought-Knot-Seer itself.
Yeah, and they're able to kill the early creatures like we mentioned, which is important, but if Ralph goes on this alternate plan of just be an Eldrazi aggro deck,
Yeah, I think Ralph's favored because of that sideboard plan. I don't think...
And Ralph can cast his Emrakul's way earlier, typically.
Yep.
I think
I don't think Richard can really handle the early Eldrazi's as much as he could, the Elder Deep Fiends and stuff.
Yep. Agreed, but yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. Getting
Yeah.
a third game here, which is nice.
Yeah, deck's still strong. I think, I don't know, some of the numbers in this deck I think are a little weird, like the single Pilgrim's Eye,
there's
the
a
single
lot of
Mind
weird
Bender,
numbers for sure.
the single Vessel of Nascency, single Deadweight. Some of those cards I'm probably cutting the Deadweight against this deck.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's good against Jason Nissa.
But that's it.
And Pilgrim's Eye, I guess. But outside of that, after I've seen Reality Smasher and Thought-Knot-Seer, probably reconsidering my Deadweights if I left them in.
Yeah, for sure.
Mind Rack Demon seems fine.
Yeah, it's a good way to at least get some damage in.
We definitely kill the Thought-Knot-Seer so we can come close to trading with the Reality Smashers. We can get a little bit more power on the floor.
Yeah, I think if I'm Richard, I need to find a hand that has some of the early creatures like Grimflayer and Advocate. I think he needs to get in some early damage, and he's yet to have a start like that. So
yeah.
He did end up managing to steal that game 1 with the Emrakul, but...
Yeah, he did triple transgress the Mind that second game.
Yeah, and one of them was dead, but that's definitely a great card.
When your opponent is able to grapple and traverse for the threats that they want, then your early transgresses just don't matter all that much.
Absolutely.
It would be good to see this. I think I'm rooting for the Green-Black Delirium deck, I think, but I don't think he's got a very good chance against
it feels tough for him if Ralph
good
gets to keep
Reality
a 7.
Smasher draw.
If Ralph gets to keep a 7, it feels tough for him. But if there's a mulligan or maybe a slow hand from Ralph and we get some transgresses, I can see definitely Richard stealing this one.
No, absolutely. I think especially if we got a semi-decent aggressive draw, where we can go Grimflayer.
Yeah, I'd like to see him have a 2-drop.
Mind Rack Demon?
I'd like to see him have a proactive 2-drop followed by a transgress so he at least gets some damage in. That would be a good one for him.
Yeah, or if we go transgress into Infinite Obliteration.
That would be good too.
That would be really solid just to,
get
everything out.
Yep. So just finishing up shuffling.
Yeah, having the knowledge of your opponent's hand and what to call with your Infinite Obliteration is really good.
If you can get a card out of the hand with it, it's so much better.
Absolutely.
Turn it into the duress effect as well as get it slaughter games or
whatever
whatever you want to call it.
Slaughter games basically. There's got to be a card. I think
he does have
Magic.
the flare in this hand.
Yeah, there's got to be a card in Magic that was take a card out of their hand and every other card
of that type. Is it Pick the Brain?
Yeah.
If you have
okay.
All right, Richard didn't like it. I think it was a 1-lander.
Probably.
Because it looked like it had some good spells and a good curve, but along the lands. And Ralph does snap off the 7, so Richard's going to have some work to do.
Actually, if Richard can go Grimflayer into Tireless Tracker into Mind Rack Demon.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if he has the creature...
really aggressive draw.
Absolutely. He certainly still has draws that can do that, but Ralph is good at gumming up the board with crappy jump blockers.
Yeah.
And he also may just, power out some of these Reality Smasher Thought-Knots to just disrupt the plan, and I think that Richard's got a big problem with those, so see if he can keep 6 here. This one looks very land heavy, but
we're keeping it.
Oh, I think he's down to 5.
Wow,
that looks like 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that just all lands Traverse?
It looked like all lands, yeah, I think. But I mean, you can't mulligan that on 5.
No. You can barely mulligan on 5, period.
Okay, he's gonna try to. Okay, and a Jace here.
Yeah, turn 2 Jace seems great.
And you can flip it so easily in this deck with the grapples and the gathers.
Surprisingly, in the Temerge deck, or the Sultai Emerge deck, that splashes red, like, you don't actually want to flip Jace.
Yeah, I hear you. You want to try to get your value, if your hand especially a little bit.
You just want to try and discard. You just want Merfolk Blue.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's always tough to see a mulligan to 5 in a situation like this.
Yeah, like game 3 mulligan
I think
to 5.
that Richard still could possibly have a win in.
Yeah.
But I think that this might lock Ralph to be able to draw next round.
Probably, yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, Richard could draw out of this if he draws well, but
yeah, depending on where he was sitting in the standings going into this round.
Yeah, his Mold of 5 is tough, and his hand looks pretty slow. It's a Traverse and a Liliana. No actual pressure in the face of 2B Planeswalkers.
Yeah, if I have the Liliana, though, I'm definitely just hitting the Nissa. And
that's what. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do. So, I mean, I guess at the very least, there's no... And we're just going to Traverse for just a land to get it out of our deck.
Yeah. Try to get
at this point,
more,
it looks like
types in the graveyard.
Going to be pretty tough to ever have Delirium on. For at least anywhere early in this game. So now Ralph just has to play the game tight and make sure he doesn't give up any margins.
Yeah, I think if Ralph's hand's like slow, then maybe Liliana takes this game.
Yeah, it could. Liliana is definitely a scary card against this deck, but once he can just land one of his 5 power guys.
Yeah.
Then her plus doesn't do too much.
Like if Thought Not Seer comes down here,
yeah,
we're in a little bit of trouble.
It sees his hand full of lands. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. Yep. And just sees 2 lands.
Got a second copy of Traverse Evenwald.
Yep. That's kind of a backbreaker. Now Richard is just on top decks with Hissing Quagmire, I guess, to block. But
yeah, I mean, if the Thought Not Seer tries to get in, like I'm snap blocking with the Hissing Quagmire.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Puts a card type in our graveyard, lets us draw an extra card.
Yeah, I think he drew Nissa for turn. Doesn't really let him use his mana too efficiently, but he might still just feel like that's the right play.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely putting the Blighted Fen down.
Definitely.
I just feel bad that, like, if we had one more land, we'd be in a great spot.
Yeah, and the other problem is, like, at this point in the game, if we get Blighted Fend, I think you just still sack the Nissa or the Jace. You definitely don't sack the Thought Knot.
No. Wow.
But yeah, I do like this sideboard plan. I do agree it seems good against these green-black decks.
Yeah, I don't really like that plus from Richard. Richard just plussed and targeted the Thought Not Seer.
Okay.
So he's not...
So he still can't profitably block it?
Yeah,
really?
I guess he doesn't value his Liliana as highly as we do.
Here comes like a grapple, probably.
Yeah, probably a Gather, I think. It's just a Jace and a Mountain in the graveyard.
Yep. I think he has a couple other things off screen, so those are just the types.
Okay.
Maybe not. I thought I saw him move some cards off camera, but he got a Wretched Griff.
Finally, Griff getting some play.
His version only is playing 1 Griff, I believe. Yeah, only 1 Wretched Griff, and only 1 Emrakul. Ralph is really all in on the Elder Deep Fiend chaining with 2 Sanctums and all the recursion cards that you've come to expect.
Yes, I believe that they are 5-1.
They are 5-1. Yep.
Yeah.
So the winner most likely can draw in.
Yep.
Assuming they don't get paired down.
Yeah.
In the last round.
Jace is gonna flip. Nissa and Thought Not Seer are gonna get in.
Yeah, we're offering the trade here because he's so far ahead.
Did he offer the trade?
You said the plus was
5, right?
Oh, did he? Must have just. So he did plus or didn't plus? I don't think
I'm not sure.
I don't think that he's used Jace yet.
Okay, all right. So it flipped up to 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
it
so
did go.
He,
so yeah, sure.
He definitely ticked it up. Yeah, so I don't know if he valued Liliana as highly as we valued Liliana, then I'm plussing on the Nissa and chumping the Thought Not Seer. And then this turn,
yeah, I think he just drew just another land here.
We have the Blighted Fen.
He may just minus to get the Nissa back here. Yeah. Maybe hit one other different creature. It's a flare, which doesn't even have Delirium, so...
No, we have
it's not looking good.
Land creature sorcery right now.
Land creature sorcery, yep.
I think I like, if we have a land in our hand, I like taking the Grim Flayer. Simply because it allows us to activate Hissing Quagmire and block with Flayer.
Yeah, I mean, this game is getting out of control fast. I'm not sure what Richard in his deck can really draw from here. Even Emrakul, he's just too far off of that. And
yeah. I guess getting lands out of our deck's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Nissa could pose a problem for Ralph if it does end up flipping, but he's just got so much pressure. And
the life totals are still really high.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Ralph really wants to get Liliana off the floor and goes all in after the Liliana, then we just don't take any damage and we can flip our Nissa next turn.
Yeah, it does prevent the damage, which is nice. I think that Ralph will probably just go for a Jace flashback this turn, maybe just filling up his hand again.
Yeah.
And this time the Gather would have Mastery. But looks like at end of turn we got some plays. Oh, Deep Fiend, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give Richard a fresh card here, but tap him out. Oh, and we're going to flashback too. Though I don't think that he's going to trigger it. Yeah. Yeah, the trigger just wouldn't be good because it would kill his own Nissa.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see what he picked up off the draw? I didn't catch it.
No, I didn't catch it.
Oh, he did flash it back. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, I think that's totally fine still.
Yeah,
but
I think it's better because Richard is going to flip his Nissa before Ralph is.
Yep. Hardcast Griff, or Griff is 7.
Yeah, Griff is 7.
Okay, just another one. So I guess that's totally fine because now you get to see, well,
got him.
4 lands, got him.
Well, we got a Blighted Fen.
We do have a Blighted Fen. Guess that's the play next turn, unless
both of the creatures are fantastic Blighted Fen targets.
Oh, they definitely are. What are you sacking here? We're gonna flash back the Gather here.
Yeah. So okay.
We're just restock his hand. Yep. We get Emrakul. That is 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 5 card type. So not castable next turn.
I think if I'm sacrificing a creature in Ralph's spot.
Yeah. What are you sacking?
I think it's just the Thought-Knot Seer.
4 turn clock, 5 turn clock. I think I'm sacking the Deep Fiend, but there are definitely merits to both. When you see that their hand is that bad,
you don't care that they draw one more card because one more card's not going to get them that much further.
Sure. There's
right, like he drew Transgress the Mind. Right, so what am I worried about him drawing a card for?
He drew Transgress?
Yeah, for turn.
Okay. Well, that means he gets to take the Emrakul. But I guess he can't do that and sack. So yeah, he's just gonna sack. I almost like not letting him untap because now he could have
a second deep.
Well, I guess he would just respond to a crappy creature.
Yeah.
If it was something like a Primal Druid or something. Alright, so we're going to offer the trade with the land. See, he's a little reluctant to attack with the Thought-Knot. Because now the land just... Technically, just it'll trade with either of them.
Yeah, so we have the ability to activate the Hissing Quagmire at this point?
I think now we're just going to fend, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, and it sacks the Deep Fiend. And a Wretched Griff Hardcast, doing his best impression of the Mole Drifter.
It's a pretty terrible impression, but he tries.
Yeah, he tries. It's good when you sack a Cultist Unlimited. That's a Mole Drifter.
Yeah.
That's some good value. But it does represent just another evasive creature. And, I mean, Richard just continues to... Oh, he drew his Emrakul, but I think he is quite a ways off. He doesn't have the die at his graveyard, but I think he only had 4 types last we remembered.
The Transgress post Wretched Griff is pretty great here.
Yeah, he gets to... At minimum, he knows there's an Emrakul. Emrakul and a Deep Fiend, so...
Deep Fiend's terrible, but Emrakul's much worse.
Yeah, it's tough to see both of those, that you needed Ralph to really just have the one spell there, but... You know, Ralph really still can't attack with the 4/4, it's just still offering a trade with a Quagmire.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if Ralph just sputters out here...
I think...
Oh, now he's got the Sanctum, though, so he can just start chaining his Eldrazi together, so...
And the Griff's a flyer, so I'm definitely attacking with the Griff. But, like, the Thought-Knot Seer... The positives to throwing the Thought-Knot Seer away to the Hissing Quagmire is it sets Richard back a land
Okay,
for
so
possible Emrakul.
we're going upkeep, hardcast, tap him out a green.
Yeah.
Tap him out of green and then trigger both Sanctums, probably just sack one.
Yeah.
Yep, and let's see if he opts for a Smasher. I like it. He only has one Emrakul, so his only options are Deep Fiend or these smaller Eldrazi that he brought in, but at this point now he's tapped out all of the creature lands, and Richard, I don't think is drawn for turn yet, but really has no action at all, and very little can be cast off of just 4 swamps.
Yeah, even like Land Languish would be okay here.
I think that he sided that card out, but yeah, I mean, so now he's getting smashed for 5, 9,
5,
13,
10, 14,
18. I think it's just lethal,
16,
right?
17. It's exactly 17 damage.
Yep, he's forcing Richard to have a Grasp of Darkness, basically.
Right, Defense 5, Smasher's 5 is 10, Griff is 13,
17. Yep.
17.
All right. Well sequenced by Ralph. Richard had to mulligan and
Yeah, mulligan to 5 was tough.
And he had a pretty bad hand. He had just a lot of lands. But yeah, congrats to Ralph. We believe he'll be able to draw in as long as he doesn't get paired down.
Yeah. I like the Temerge deck. I think it's really sweet.
Yeah.
Just
when it draws like that, I mean, Ralph
awkward sequencing by Richard for sure. Like just too many lands, not enough action early enough, and then once he started getting action, just got hit by the Elder Deep Fiend. Everything got tapped down.
Yeah, that's the one thing in these kind of matchups, the sorcery speed, go big kind of decks.
Yeah.
The 4 Deep Fiends that Ralph is packing today is really good. A lot of these lists had actually moved down to 1 or 2 Deep Fiends in the main, surprisingly. But this one is closer to Andrew Brown's list, playing all the Deep Fiends.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see not playing Deep Fiend. The card's just busted.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's tough to make room. I do like that he just went for the 1 Emrakul. Basically, you're just assuming that the first one will either kill them or you'll be able to recur it if it dies with your grapples. So,
I guess. But if it gets obliterated...
Yeah, if it gets obliterated, then it's just a 1 card. So it's almost like... He's not running the Cokes, so he's just not even that worried about it. He's more a Deep Fiend deck with an incidental Emrakul, I think.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think Emrakul is extremely powerful. And I'm fairly certain it's a card that ends the games.
Yeah, it definitely
just
is.
Just to have 1 is rough, I think.
Yeah, he's just making that sacrifice to
go
a little bit higher on Deep Fiend and have some main deck Ishkanas, which in the Bant matchup are even more insurance.
Yeah.
And he's running the Jace. That's another card that has seen its way in and out of these decks.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were running like a second Emrakul in the sideboard of their deck.
Sometimes,
just to board in the second copy and then be able to use that, but... That's not the case here. Neither of these decks actually had Emrakul in the sideboard.
Yep, just both had 1 each in the main.
Yeah, it's just kind of like their one-shot inevitability creature. But
yeah, I mean, it won Richard game 1 for sure. His single-handedly. But maybe we'll see if that match went pretty quick. Maybe we can find a second match if somebody's going into game 3 or something.
Nah, I think we're pretty close to time.
We're close to time.
We're like 3 minutes left. They said.
Oh, okay. I misjudged the time, I guess.
Yeah. No, we had some pretty grindy...
Yeah, those games,
the last game was grindy, long. Even though it was fairly lopsided.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions.
First game? Yeah, the first game went really long, where like Ralph was just in control, and then Richard resolved the Emrakul and was basically able to take over that game. But I saw a lot of Bant Company at the top tables. I want to say 75% of the decks at the top tables were Bant Company.
All right, well, we still got that running posture.
Yeah.
Over 3.5, under 3.5.
Under 3.5 Bant Companies in the top 8.
That was his prediction. I said over, so
we'll see. The standings.
We have the standings going into this round.
All right, so Feingersh is on Company. So
Feingersh was Company.
So we're already 1 out of 8 right now.
I actually don't see too many. We haven't seen some of these guys on camera yet, but
yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what Jeff Pike is on or Garrett Mitchell.
Or your brother.
My brother.
It's your brother. You should know.
I should know. I should know.
My goodness, man. Dude, so the guy who won the Invitational, his name is Liam Lonergan.
That's the guy who comes to the store, right?
No.
No, but there is somebody with that same name.
Exact same name.
Yeah.
Like first and last name.
And that's a pretty unique name, because I saw that, I was like, I never played him or met him, but I was like, that name sounds familiar. It must be a local player.
Every time I see that name at Invitationals and stuff, I'm just like, I know that name, and it can't be true, because I know that guy was like in the military service at the time, so it's like,
how does he take
he snuck out for like a Magic tournament right now.
But we've only got 7 rounds, so 1 more round till top 8.
Yeah.
There was 118 players, we believe, was the final tally.
Roughly. Maybe a little more, a little less. I think some of the
It
players
was not
may have-
128, though. It was under 128.
No, I think we had 58 matches. There's 115 players on this count.
Yeah, and somebody may
So
have dropped along the
I'm thinking
line.
like 116.
I thought it was 116, yeah. 58.
Like
I think
118 people registered, and I think a few people may have cut out after
Getting their Jace.
Yeah, getting their Snapcaster. And
Yeah, Snapcaster, my bad.
You're close enough.
Yeah, they're
Jace Vryn's
basically
Prodigy
related.
is like, what, Merfolk Looter and Snapcaster Mage in the same card?
Sort of, yeah.
Like, sorry, but those are two very degenerately busted blue cards.
Yeah, they're very good.
But we are gonna see if we can cut to commercial break for a short amount of time, and then
Yeah, just throw
come
on
back
some-
for the next round.
Yep, we'll be back in just a few minutes once the next round's up.
All right. Maybe.
In a second.
I don't think it was a buy, actually.
There wasn't a buy now. There was
No.
58 matches in round 1.
Yeah, it was a full set of matches the whole way through. I think buys have been popping up after people dropped, but it was definitely even the whole way across.
Yep.
But yeah, our running bet under 3.5 bank companies or over 3.5 bank
Yeah,
companies.
let us know what you guys think in the chat. We don't actually know. We think only locked that there's one
Yeah, so far only one locked.
bank company.
3.5 is a really solid number of bank company decks, I think, to choose an over or an under on.
Yep, it's good. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll keep that. We'll keep that.
There was a lot of the top tables
Yeah.
vying for the positions for sure.
Yep. I'm sure there'll be some winning ins, and maybe we can get a winning in on camera. That'd be a good one.
That would be. I think we definitely will probably have some winning ins on the camera. We just got to figure out the math portion of it, which we're both not great at.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. What's math?
I can't. I know it's not that hard. I've like vaguely.
I'm not
done
good
it.
at the tournament math. I always need to ask.
Yeah.
Actually, Mark Morrison.
Yeah,
Funny
that's why I
enough.
asked as well.
So-
Mark, what do I do?
He-
He's like,
you
all right,
can't
well,
draw. Yeah.
this, you can't draw.
Yeah, it's always you can't draw. So I'm like, damn it,
Yeah.
I can never draw.
I mean, like, the times when I can draw, it's like,
You were already
clean
like
cut.
XOO. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I already knew I was drawing, like, last round.
Sure.
Humans does count towards the Bant Company.
Yes,
count.
it's band colors and it's got company.
It's company.
Though I haven't seen
both
much
things.
humans here today. Other than
I saw a few decks floating around. Not
we
many.
had Craig Rocco on camera, but he lost.
Craig Rocco on camera. My buddy Jesse Adams is on that deck as well.
Okay.
The deck's all right. Like Max was saying a little earlier, it's probably a little bit favored in the Bant mirror, and I think you have some really, really powerful draws.
Definitely.
Whereas like your regular Bant Company draws are already powerful.
It's slightly more synergy with
Yeah.
your single cards are a little bit less powerful.
Yeah.
But when you can chain like Thalia's lieutenants and stuff,
The deck's just
the deck
crazy.
gets when you can double Anthem off a company or something like that, it's pretty stupid. But your initial cards are a little bit worse. You don't have Advocate. You
Yeah.
don't have a 4/5.
Like
you
your
don't
two
have
mana,
crawlers.
your
Yeah.
2 mana plays are like, I guess a little
Lambholt's
bit
is
better.
fine.
Lambholt Pacifist is
Lambholt blocks
much
really
better
well,
than Sylvan Advocate, like straight up.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure, but we are probably getting close to the next round. And if Slave
so, we can
Driver
just-
Scott will let us out.
We know there'll be everybody jockeying around the standings, seeing who can draw.
Yep.
There's always that.
All right. We will try to be back in just a bit.
Yep, stick around, guys. Make sure to go ahead and follow this channel if you've not yet already.
No, I didn't think Ada was that's why I had done it.
I'm gonna keep him.
Oh my god.
stop. That's all you need to know.
I didn't stop. I
Well,
almost need to finish.
I remember she was an interview like a year and a half ago, and I had to play stand up.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Yeah. I play blue white red control. I do not have it.
Type 2. 18.
even more just if I draw 2 basic, 2 more basic, it's
Oh, it's so
untapped.
rare.
We haven't been good since the night. What do you want version we've been good to? What do you want version?
Type 2. 16.
Honestly,
Sure.
you want to drop it big?
No one's up.
Yeah. Green, white, heroes. Good luck. And then he does stupid stuff. This deck was literally screen. It's dumb. You want to write them down? Two cards.
Turn. Yep. And you're up.
I gotta get, I just got them. I have clues, but they're in my game. Put it back. Good? Yep.
I'm gonna discard card to trigger this. You wanna flip it? Oh, yep, yep.
No, not unless I can reveal the planes or the forest. I had to reveal the
Sure. Take 11. And then,
So we'll play Night of the White Orchid.
Trigger. I'm gonna activate this guy. Sure. Flip your taste. Give him a stroke. Yep. 3, 7, 8. Take 8, put a 3. Stick. Your turn. Attack 4.
You guys are perfect. I think we'd like the dice on just the other side.
Okay. Oh.
Thank you very much.
Tireless Tracker? Whenever it matches with
That's quick text.
and then whenever I sack it.
Take a pain.
I'm going to declare
Sure.
Activate. 2. Move the blocker.
Yep.
Consul's Lieutenant?
Alright, there's my block. 4 damage. I'm gonna discard. Draw Put that in play. Okay. And then damage. So I gain 2, take 2. I say 2 rather.
I will.
Alright, your turn.
Lieutenant? Lieutenant? Trigger?
We're good.
Sorry, 4.
I just want to make sure I counted right. That's it.
Sure. Good choice.
Go for 6. You believe?
Getting.
Hanging bracket for 1. Yep.
Just 2, 2.
Go.
4. Yep. That's right. One-time dealer.
Land after turn
Card there.
I'm one getting.
Alright guys, we're back. Looks like we got a win in here. Robert Sater versus Jim Davis. Robert Sater looks like he's on the classic Teamer Emerge, and Jim is on his 4-color Emerge, which is like the Prized Amalgam version with the Haunted Deads and all the...
Yep.
What else does it have? It's got
Yep. So
it has one-ish kind of maybe.
Yep. I'm Alex. I'm subbing for Josh again this round here. So we got ourselves. We got one-ish Kana here. We have a Descended Mindbender and a Noose Constrictor, all as singletons.
Okay, and then he's just got the Amalgam package and.
Yep. I think this list is very similar to the one Jim top-aided with last week in the Classic.
Okay. So yeah, we got a pretty slow start from both of them. Just a bunch of land pass.
He has Kozilek's Return with no way to cast it main deck, and
Yep,
with
just pitch it, right?
yeah, he has a Mountain in the sideboard for matchups where you would possibly want it early.
Jim's hand looks really clogged up, but it has a lot of amalgams, and if he can find a Haunted Dead, then I think it'll be really solid for him. I believe he has 3 Prized Amalgams in hand.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, that can just really quickly go from 0 power to 10 power.
Absolutely.
We mill over. Yeah, he got a Haunted Dead in there, so he'll take the... Yeah, this is going to be really nice for Jim. I think he's going to...
Yeah.
He's going to show that the engine portion of his deck maybe... Okay, it's just 2 amalgams, but he'll be able to pitch both of those to the Haunted Dead and just get...
Yeah, I mean, he's going to take his Deep Fiend here probably off the grapple or off the land if he needs it, and we can have a situation where he's going to be able to Haunted Dead back the back itself, get back both amalgams, then sack the Haunted Dead to Deep Fiend and tap out Robert.
Yeah, he does get the land, which I agree with. He's a little bit land light, it looks like, and he'll be able to get the Deep Fiend later on with that other grapple.
Absolutely. Making your land drops is very important here.
Yeah, you could... Oh, wow, and he draws the 3rd amalgam. So now if that Haunted Dead ever dies, we've got another good couple cards to discard.
Jim's got a decent poker hand over there.
Yeah, we've got a full house, right?
Yeah.
And the Haunted Dead is not the sorcery speed one, right? So we can just do it whenever.
Yep,
he'll
Haunted
do it on
Dead.
second main.
Haunted Dead can come back whenever it wants to.
Yeah, so he'll probably do it on Sater's second main to make sure that the amalgams come back.
Both these guys very good. Robert Cedar from Southern New York played him in multiple PBQs, and Jim Davis very well known. So really cool to see these guys playing a winning in.
Yeah, I recognize Robert from around the area. Don't think I've ever played him, but
He
definitely a competent.
he
player.
won an Open a while ago, I think.
Okay, maybe that's how I recognize
Yeah.
him. So I guess Jim's just deciding. I think he's got to get a blue land here with the
Yeah,
possibility of getting the deep fiend.
the deep fiend. Yeah, I would agree.
And now he gets to basically do the best thing this deck can do is just discard 2 Amalgams to the Haunted Dead and just put a ton of power into play out of nowhere. Oh, he's thinking about discarding the Stitchwing Scabs. That's actually nice. I didn't see he had that in his hand. So now he has a second discard engine for his other 2 Amalgams.
Absolutely. Did Robert just play his land and not attack with the...
Land pass, no attack.
So, what's the reason behind not attacking?
I don't think there's any upside to not attacking. Really.
Yeah,
Maybe he's willing to go block and then flash something in.
Well,
but I don't know.
Jim, oh no, because Jim could have just brought back the Spirit and blocked. Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's probably why. He's going to deep fiend him in upkeep.
Yep. Probably tap his lands down. I don't think that he's too worried about these creatures.
Yeah.
He'll tap the 3 lands in the Spirit, probably.
Would agree.
Oh, we're just going to discard it with the mana, I think.
Yeah, Jim's going to respond here.
Yep.
He's going
This
to
is
pitch
pretty
2
nice.
Amalgams, bring back the Scab. And then he'll let the ability resolve on those. Jim will draw for turn.
Yep, and then his end of turn, he'll get 6 more power into play for basically free.
Those Amalgams will be coming back.
I know Robert has a Kozilek's Return hand, but that doesn't really deal with this board that well. It leaves Jim with 3 Amalgams. I guess it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
kills
it takes care
the
of
flyers.
Yeah, I mean, Stitchwing Scab does a good impression of a Dillion Click on this board, just attacking in the air.
Absolutely.
I didn't get a great look at what else Robert has, but
I see a Swamp towards the front and a Kozilek's Return, but that's about it.
So I definitely lost the over-under at Bank.
there's going to be more.
All 4 of the people who drew in a top 8 were on Bank.
Okay.
So it looks like the Bant Company bet that was made earlier today before I showed up is going to be going in the favor of over on 3.5 copies of Bant Company.
Yeah, looks like there'll be at least 4, if not more.
Yeah, I know Feingersh drew in, and
Yep.
Zach Keen, and Jeff Pica, and the other guy. I don't know his name. It's his first event.
All right, so Jim was debating whether or not to keep that land in hand for if a future discard, but he opts to play it with an Ishkana in hand.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think you want to get to 5. You'll find cards to discard, especially with a grapple and stuff. Yeah, Jim's hand's pretty good, even if Kozilek's Return slows him down a little bit.
Robert will play his Forest.
Yeah, Robert also notably with almost no graveyard. I think he just has the Pilgrim's Eye, so only 2 card types if he was worried about getting towards Delirium. He does play 3 Ishkana.
Robert's just going to ship it over.
All right, I think he's going to upkeep again, probably start chaining the Deep Fiends maybe. Otherwise,
he's
all
letting Jim
right, maybe his
draw.
hand is not great. I didn't get a good look at it.
Jim will draw his own copy of Kozilek's Return, which does little to nothing in his hand, just a card to discard.
Yep, good to discard. It's basically just a Pokemon card in his hand. He can never cast it.
Absolutely. It will just be sitting there, and it will count as a card for all purposes of discarding cards, but not doing anything in the hand. Not at least game 1, but...
Yeah, and I mean, on this board, too, it's like he almost wouldn't ever
Yeah,
cast it.
it's not going to do anything.
I think Jim's just going to, ship all.
Yeah, we're in there. I think there's going to be a block plus Kozilek's Return.
Yeah, I believe so. So he'll take 6, and then Jim can just start to reassemble, because he just puts the
Yeah, he's going to get to discard his...
the return and then probably a grapple or something.
Yeah, he can discard the Return and something else, bring back either the Stitchwing or the Haunted Dead. Can we ask Rob to put his graveyard on camera? Rob does not have a graveyard.
No, he has a
Oh,
couple
does he?
cards.
Oh, he does? Okay. Okay. My
If we can relay
apologies.
the message, we'll try
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, he does. Okay, there we go. Yep. Okay, so we see a Kozilek's Return and a Pilgrim's Eye.
Yep. He opted to put it in A very random spot.
What is
but
the
we can see
blue
it.
card in Jim's board? That was a Stitchwing Scab. That is a 3/1 guy that comes back from the graveyard by discarding 2 cards.
Yep, for 1 and a blue.
Yep. Very powerful card in this archetype.
Yeah, I believe it's a 1 of. It's just 1 more discard outlet, and 3 damage in the air adds up quick. With Robert already down to 12, and Jim with the ability to get back the amalgam and the.
We're
the
having
Stitchwing.
they're having Robert fix his board there.
Okay, so Robert's gonna grapple here. Sees a Jace and a Primal Druid. Probably just taking the Jace.
He is laying out his graveyard in a very unique fashion.
Yeah, I think he's just keeping the card types, and then he'll have the stack.
Yeah. Have not seen someone do that with their graveyard before. Very interesting.
Yeah, and Jim's hand is still great. He's got 2 grapples and an Ishkana.
Yeah, he's separating it by type.
Yep. How many people? We had, how many? 118?
118.
Yeah, that's
So,
118.
Just under the 8 rounder, right? 128 would be 8 people.
Yep,
or 8 rounds.
10 people short. Or 11 people short. It's why many of these people that we see playing right now are X1, where in your traditional, normal PPTQ at your local game store,
You could double draw,
you would be
yeah.
able to, draw at X1.
Yep.
And X1 would be good, but because this tournament's so close there.
Yeah, I think they could have maybe, but one of them would have to sweat, so it's not
Yeah,
worth it.
exactly. This isn't, the situation where, you draw yourself out of top 8 and, you forget, winning that booster box. These guys are playing for a chance to the Pro Tour, so, if they think that, winning will give them a better shot, they're going to try to win.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got Ishkana, and it does have Delirium.
Yep, here it comes. And
Yeah, so
we'll
this is
bring
actually a
3
pretty good way to gum the board up. Jim really doesn't do a great job at attacking through the Ishkana. With a bunch of 3/3s and a 3/1 flyer, Jim's gonna actually have to find some of his own big Eldrazi to try to break through here.
I mean, those spiders can triple block an amalgam, and the amalgam's only going to get to kill 1 spider.
Yep. And they just block the Stitchwing.
Yeah.
They block everything.
Yeah.
I think Robert's turning this game around for sure.
Jim's going to fire off a grapple here.
Yep.
We see Evolving Wilds, Gather the Pack, Jace.
All right, but he gets the Deep Fiend, which is good. And now he can discard the Kozilek's Return and wipe the boards up pretty well, leaving Robert with just his own Deep Fiend.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice sequence here. Cleans the board up. He's got to hope that Robert doesn't have really too many more Ishkanas, but Robert does play 3 of them. I think that card is actually... I didn't give it as much credit as I should have in this matchup. It looks like it's really good against the Amalgam.
Yeah, if we can get a situation here where we sack Haunted Dead to the Emerge, the Amalgams will die from the flashback of Kozilek's Return, then we
Yep.
can discard to bring Haunted Dead back and get the Amalgams back once again.
Yep.
These Amalgams putting in their weight for sure.
Here, he may just attack all, and if his prized Amalgams are going to die anyways, and maybe he sneaks in a point, or maybe he gets the Deep Fiend to block.
Yeah, if Robert blocks with the Deep Fiend,
Yeah.
Robert loses his entire board.
Though it's an onboard trick. I mean, Robert's,
Yeah.
it's all there, so...
I mean, he's gonna get in a few points though if the Deep Fiend doesn't block.
Yeah, he gets in at least one
Yeah,
point.
if it's like spiders chump, spider chump, Ishkana eats something,
Mm-hmm.
we're still getting in 1 point.
Yeah, and then on that board, Jim isn't even forced to necessarily Deep Fiend right away. I guess the double block on the Haunted Dead is interesting. Because now... Well, Jim can just sack a Pressed Amalgam, so I guess it shouldn't matter too much. But he is going to block.
This is interesting. I mean, I think if Robert's line is to try to kill all the creatures so Jim can't emerge, that's a decent line. But by doing this, he's allowing the Amalgam to stay there, which will allow him to emerge the Deep Fiend, and his own Deep Fiend will end up dying to the Clashback of Kozilek's Return.
Yeah, I
So-
guess he's just forcing the issue now so that he won't be able to tap him out in the upkeep. But I
Yeah.
think Jim will most certainly...
Yeah, I think we're just definitely going to go for the
I would
board
be,
wipe.
yeah. And then he can still get the Haunted Dead back in the following turn and bring back 9 extra power.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go. Deep Fiend for decent value. Doesn't get to tap anything down, but gets to wipe the entire board of Robert and leave himself with a 5/6.
Yep, and there goes everything.
Yeah, so we'll see if Robert has any good follow-ups. I didn't get a great look at his hand, but
Yeah.
now anything like a grapple just, is certainly a great draw, too, because his graveyard is stocked.
Yeah, that's yeah, Robert's got a very nice graveyard there. As does Jim.
Yeah, they utilize him in a little bit different ways, but Jim's is very good with the Haunted Dead package, and Robert is good later in the game, I think.
The records of both these players is 5-1. This is round 7. They are playing for top 8. And we're gonna see a gather the pack here.
Okay, Lashweed Lurker.
Yeah, I see Lashweed Lurker, Elder Deep Fiend, Primal Druid, Jace, and another Ishkana.
And this one certainly has to have Mastery, right? So he gets to take 2 of these with him.
Yep. This is gonna be very good. Both XO. No, they're not both XO. If they were both XO, Mr. Rose, they would be drawing themselves in, I would imagine.
Yeah, all the undefeateds were able to
Yeah.
double draw.
They're 5-1, yeah, correct. All right, Ishkana,
All right, so he opts
number
for
2.
the Ishkana.
And is that another Deep Fiend Jim just drew?
It is.
Yeah, that's not a bad draw at all.
Yeah, I mean, he could just tap Robert down and attack for 5. Robert is only at 9, so that seems like a route to victory. This is a game that I think if it goes too long, it will favor Robert. But if Jim can tempo him out, that may just be enough.
Here comes Deep Fiend. And are we going to see a chump block with a spider? Robert also has the option of blocking with everybody, which would kill the Ishkana, but the Elder Deep Fiend would also go down. They couldn't draw at X1. No, this is a very large tournament, as we mentioned, 118 people. So
a large 7-rounder. So,
yeah. X11 was not going to be good enough for everybody here.
Yeah, they may have been able to draw, but it would have been a risky situation. So
yeah, they were in 7th and 8th.
Yeah, it's just better for them to play. All right, so we just trade the Deep Fiend for
the block with everybody is what occurred there.
Yep, now Jim's just going to pass, presumably getting back a bunch of amalgams and Haunted Dead, I guess, because Scab doesn't attack through the 1/2s. So
yeah. An interesting thing for you guys in the chat here. We got like a thing. Oh, wait 1 second. Yeah, an interesting thing here that you notice. We play a lot of Moto, so we see this all the time. When you want to bring back your not your Elder Deep Fiend, your Haunted Dead, excuse me, and trigger your amalgams, you have to do it so in the second main phase if you want them back right away, because the trigger goes on the stack of the end step. So you want to make sure you get those amalgams right back then, because if you do it at the end step, you won't get them until your own end step.
Mm-hmm. And it does give Robert priority again in his main phase, right? So that could be a way to sort of next level, right?
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, there was a play earlier where an opponent could have languished in the main phase, but it didn't end up mattering, so...
Yes, I think top 8 deck lists may be posted at some point on Kerwin's Game Star. We'll post that in the chat if that's going to come up. And then, is this big enough to qualify all top 8? It would not have been had they still had that, but they actually changed that rule, so the only way the entire top 8 qualifies is through a Moto PBTQ, not in real life, only top 4 regardless of size.
All right, Jim just grapples into turn, finds a couple lands, but he's grabbing the old Deep Fiend back, so...
Yep, Deep Fiend coming back.
Yeah, he's got a plan here. He's now getting back 3 amalgams and the Haunted Dead. So he's just going to try to power through Robert's blockers here.
Amalgam's very good on this board.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it forces some just suboptimal blocks, and depending on what else Jim has in it, he has the Deep Fiend that Robert knows about, so... Jim could just try to tap down everything. I mean, I'm not sure how many cards Robert has in hand. He could try to just go for the win here.
So if he goes tap your 4 creatures by sacrificing my Haunted Dead, Robert fires up or Lumbering Falls.
Forced to fire up Lumbering Falls and has to trade.
Trades with another Amalgam, and then Jim gets in 7 points, puts Robert at 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like Robert has 2 cards, but it looks like Jim's weighing his options here. I could see... He's just going to go to attacks here with all the amalgams and the Haunted Dead.
How many people play in the MTGO ones? I don't know. I've never played a Moto RPTQ. Have you?
No, they're around 100. There's less people. Doesn't need to be
Yeah.
120. It's just regardless.
Yeah, they make top 8 regardless, but you get a promo Snapcaster rather than a real one, which is like a $80 difference.
Yeah,
so
it's
peop-
only $20.
Yeah.
All right, looks like Jim has decided to attack with everybody with no Deep Fiend. So
Yeah, everybody in the club getting in there. So Robert is either going to have to play some kind of trick here, make unfavorable blocks, or possibly even fire up the Lumbering Falls, but that is also an unfavorable block. So I imagine Robert's going to have something here.
yeah, I didn't get a look at what he has in his hand, but no, it looks like Jim is now going to, after declaring attackers, flash in the Deep Fiend, and I think he'll just tap the 4 blockers. Yep. So he's basically forcing Robert to have his own emerge creature or fire up the Lumbering Falls.
Yep.
So I like this. I
Here
like this a
comes the
lot.
Deep Fiend after attacks before blocks. And there's a Deep Fiend trigger on the stack, and Jim is debating what he wants to tap here.
Now he's targeted those 4.
Oh, he
the 4
has.
creatures, and Robert's got a response.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Oh, they're asking us. I am Alexander Stratton, and I have Max Mitchell, who is kind enough to let me in the booth today.
And Josh Peregrine.
Yep, Josh Peregrine, who is on break at the moment. He will be back for some top 4 coverage, or top 8 going to top 4 coverage for you guys.
All right, so Robert does look like he has a play, but I think he has to. I think he's forced to fire up the Lumbering Falls. It looks like that's the play he's forced to make. Yeah, this is not where you want to be. I think he's
Yeah.
got to top deck something like an Emrakul to maybe even have a chance.
I would agree.
I don't know what that last card is. Yeah, he's weighing his options. I think he actually even has to take a point to fire up the Lumbering Falls. He doesn't have a pain-free blue. So he's going to go down to...
Yeah, he's going to go to 8, and then the Falls is going to block an Amalgam, and then we're going to 1?
Yep.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
And he's not going to have double blue anymore after this trade. Oh, no, he's got he must have a Deep Fiend here. And he's just going to snipe one of the Amalgams? He's supposed to take a point, though.
We did not see the Modern GP yet. We've been watching this today. I'll be certainly watching that when I get home, though.
Yeah, I think that Robert must have... Nope, he... Not sure. Yeah, he's got to fire up the Lumbering Falls. Has to take a point. Yeah, maybe the judges are telling him to make a play.
Yeah, we're going to 1, and Amalgam and Lumbering Falls are leaving together. Yep, Jim is verifying that Robert will have to take 1 to do this action.
All right.
Yep, so we should have a game of 1 to 17 here.
Yeah, I mean,
There's the Vessel.
Robert does get to flash back a Gatherer or Grapple, but this is going to be tough. I don't think he even has... He does have a K return, so I guess that there is a way out of this for Robert, but he doesn't even have double blue because he has no pain-free blue.
Yeah.
So that's actually a big issue. He has no blue mana that can be tapped unless he somehow has life gain in his main deck. And
He has
I
a
don't believe
basic
he does.
island there.
Is there a basic?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
he has
okay.
one basic
So he
island,
can't cast
yeah.
an emerged
Deep Fiend.
an emerged
Yeah.
which would be one of the better cards to
Yep. Yeah, Deep Fiend is offline unless we're hard casting it here.
get. Yeah, he might find a blue source here, but it just discards another.
Discards Kozilek's Return.
Yeah, I mean, if he can manage to play a big Eldrazi here, he will be able to wipe both boards.
Oh, we have 300 viewers right now. That's very impressive. Thank you guys for staying with us here. This is the last round of our Swiss, of our RPTQ here. We're going to be going into top 8 contention after this round. Gerard Fabiano is playing for his top 8 contention, as well as many other local and even non-local ringers here. So
Yeah, Kevin Jones.
yeah,
another
Kevin
name
Jones.
player.
We got a lot of big names here. This is not your local LGS RPTQ as it was last time here. We got a lot of big names.
All right, so Jim's going to take 3. Robert presumably has a Eldrazi to cast here. It's a Wretched Griff. He's going to flash back both K returns, I believe. Yep, and he's going to wipe both boards, leaving himself with a 3/4. Jim with nothing. And Jim has no cards in hand, but he does have a Vessel. So Jim just needs to get 2 cards in his hand, and just bringing back all the creatures again, I think, should do it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. So if Jim goes pop Vessel for green mana, has 2 open,
Yeah, and then he
gets a
flash
card
back
off the
one.
vessel, and then uses the card off the vessel at Robert's end step
Yep.
to bring back Haunted
the-
Dead Spirit and the 3 amalgams. That should be it.
Yep.
Which is what I think Jim's line.
Yeah, because now there's no more K returns, I don't think.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be it here, unless
If Robert finds himself an Emrakul,
Yeah,
that
I
could
would
maybe
agree.
be a change. Like, that may be the card that he needs, especially because
Yeah.
Jace can't flash back anything here. This is well played by Robert, though. I could see a lot of people would have maybe already lost in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean,
he's given himself outs.
they
for
both
sure.
played fantastic this game. The game has been super swingy. All
Yeah, I
right.
mean, this really shows the power of this recursive engine that Jim has
Yeah.
in the late game, that he's just getting to bring back 10 power every time he...
Jim going to 12, and does not matter what card he's going to be taking here, so he
Yeah,
will be
it's most
discarding
likely
it.
going to be discarded.
Yep. And, yep, here comes Haunted Dead at the second main phase, I presume, which will trigger the amalgams.
Yep. So now just one of these needs to sneak through. Any one
Yep.
creature.
Yep, all of these up, and
All right,
Robert
and
will pack it in.
That's that. Closer than it looked, but yeah, being at 1 life and having all pain lands really did Robert in there. So let's take a look at sideboards
Yeah,
here.
let's go over to the sideboards. I started last time, so you can start with your list this time.
Okay, sure. So Robert, he's on the Temer list. We saw in the last kind of these mirrors, maybe the Smashers come in as just like another quick way to win. And I think also the other Emrakul and the Sanctum of Ugin will come in. But other than that, I don't think much changes. Yeah, sideboard, he's certainly not going to want the Radiant Flames. What do you think about Tracker? I don't think that this is the matchup for it. Because they both probably keep
Yeah.
the Kozilek's returns in.
Yeah, I don't think that Jim is going to be bringing in his Mountain to be able to hard cast his Kozilek's Return,
Yeah.
because I don't think that's really needed
That's
here. I
not-
think
yeah.
that's for, like, humans.
Yeah, for sure.
Even against ban, it's not insane, but against humans, it's obviously really good.
Yes, definitely.
And then Collective Brutality, it hits some of, like, the other
Oh,
discard
that's an interesting
stuff.
card.
Yeah.
I've seen that actually making waves in Modern, too.
Yeah,
the card
it's
is great. Yeah, the
I
card's
got
really
Collective
good.
Brutality today and a few days ago, actually.
Yeah, I could see that card actually coming in. Maybe it can grab some of the grapples and the
I do like
gathers.
the copies of Transgress the Mind Jim Davis has on the sideboard.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what the black
Yeah.
offers. I think those will certainly come in. And
Yep.
yeah, other than
And,
that, I think Robert's plan stays pretty much the same, with just bringing in a little bit more of the threats.
Guiltleaf Winnower can kill all their Deep Fiend.
Wow,
That's
he's
the
playing
thing.
Winnower?
He does have a copy of Guiltleaf
Well,
Winnower.
that
on his
definitely
sideboard.
comes in for
Yeah,
sure.
I would think that would be good too. The Nissa could be good if we want to try to go late. It dies to Kozilek's Return if they do it in response
Yep.
with the trigger on the stack. If we don't have an Evolving Wilds or land.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate, but if the card ever flips, it's just a card advantage engine.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like how Jim's late game can really just take over. I'm not sure that it'll always end up like that. I think that Robert's draw was a little bit weird in the fact that he never had 2 blue
Yeah.
free, so he was just incidentally taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, that game started out, I think, really, really far in Jim's favor, and then Robert
Yeah.
turned the corner, and it was really in Robert's favor. Then Jim just was able
Exactly,
to claw
yeah.
his way out the door.
Yeah. I mean, I think the early amalgam play, I think it was turn 3, he got to put 7 power in play. It just really nudged down.
And then after the 7 powers dismantled, he brought back 9 more, and then that dismantled, and then the last time he just couldn't deal with it.
So yeah, I think if Jim can have another explosive draw like that, this should definitely be in his favor. But if Robert can slow it down, I think his leaner list, in terms of playing this like emerge out and then just work your way towards Emrakul and Ishkanas.
Yeah.
If we can do that and not have the amalgams beating down so early, I think that Robert may
You
have
got
an edge here.
Pick the Brain. I like it against the black-white decks. I'm not sure how much I like that. What are we looking to hit, I guess, out of this deck? What can
We
we
got
get with it?
the grapples and the the gathers.
There's some stuff.
2 traverse. There's a couple cards. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you could fire it off on like turn 3 and hit a grapple, that'd be great.
Yep.
But I mean, it's like, are we going to be in that position?
All right, so they're checking out their opening 7s here after sideboard.
Oh, he did bring in the
Pick
Pick the Brain. Yeah,
there
very
it
good.
is.
Very good.
And it looks like Robert, unfortunately, has to take a mulligan.
Yep.
And Jim is still evaluating, though his hand to me looks fine.
Yeah. I think when you see matchups like the Bant Company matchup and someone like Mulligans, it's probably like you think of it like as like a bigger deal because like you're trying to get all these pieces in play before you start generating your card advantage. But the fact is, This deck, unlike Bad Company, isn't trying to generate card advantage in the later game when you can pop your clues. It generates it right away with cards like, Grapple the Path being card selection, and then like your Emerge, generating card advantage and everything like that. So I think that, taking a mulligan while it's not optimal is probably, in like a matchup like this, I think it's still going to play out super similarly on 6 cards.
I agree.
Yeah. It looks like they're both going to 6.
Okay, Jim didn't like his hand.
Yeah. Oh.
It was a little bit slow. I could see why.
He brought in the Nissa as well.
All right, Robert decided to keep, and he's deciding on his scry right now.
Jim's got Nissa, Amalgam, and 4 lands.
I'm crazy, but I'm keeping.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to 5. I don't know.
Yep. So Robert scries to the bottom, as does Jim. So Robert start us off. Land go.
Jace,
Oh,
great
Jace
draw.
off the top is really nice.
I can discard our Amalgam or a land.
Jim wasting no time getting the land.
Yeah. This matchup.
Okay, so we got dueling Jaces here.
Yep. When all those fetch lands rotated out and Jeskai Black and all that came on out, everyone was like, oh, this card's unplayable, but it's
In
still
this deck,
good.
it flips really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's just gonna mirror him with his own Jace. Neither of these decks have really much removal, so it's like these guys are just gonna get to do their thing early on.
Yep.
Okay, Pilgrim's Eye.
All right, so this is going to be the mirror match of Jace into good creature to emerge that gets a land.
Yep.
This is, they're going to be playing out super similarly here. Unless Jim wants to take a side track and wait to deploy Nissa until later when it can be safer and grapple now, which is also an option that Jim has. We could also hardcast an Amalgam.
He could hardcast Amalgam.
Could.
I mean, on this board it's a little bit weird, but it's okay.
It beats down.
If Robert has an emerge creature, then I really like his spot next turn where he can just tap Jim out.
The Amalgam does have 3 toughness, which is very relevant.
Yeah, for sure. And it can just attack through both of Robert's creatures at the moment, but he's going to go for grapple.
Yep. So we're going to wait on that Nissa to possibly get more value later. I like that play. And we're getting back a Deep Fiend.
The deepest friend. Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's the best card in the mirror.
Oh, I agree. Just being able to tap lands, and it's so big.
All right, get to start discarding these Amalgams, which he just drew another one of. Oh, and already flipping.
Yeah,
That's why he did that.
That
so
one
he can
is
flip. Yeah,
getting
that's
on
nice.
over.
Yeah, that is quick. A quick flip. Turn 3.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since the
Yes.
old...
Since the KTK block. Right?
Yeah, since the old Bloodstained Mire, Fiery Impulse here, Swift Spear on tap.
Yep. All right, so Jim's just going to plus, and Robert will end of turn Jace loot. His hand looks to be very land heavy with a couple grapples, so he's really relying on this Jace.
Yeah, Jace is just, like, the selection these guys are getting and the ability to bin these cards is so great.
Oh, absolutely, especially when they just all have value. Although I think Jim's Jace is a little bit better being able to pitch the Amalgams.
Yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, now Jim's just really looking to find a Haunted Dead or the Stitchwing, and then he can just discard the other Amalgam, and then he really gets his engine going. All right, so I think we get the upkeep. Convoking out a deep
Yep. Pilgrim's Eye tapping as is necessary for the emerge cost.
Yep, and now we're going to tap Jim out. Tap the Planeswalker, because tap Planeswalkers.
Yep.
Just for the ultimate value.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to target all 4 things, I would imagine.
Yep, and now Jim's going to respond with a grapple.
Yep.
Taking a point. Can't get a great look at what he's milled over.
I think it's in the green card. I think it's a vessel.
Yeah, I think the 3 he milled over this time weren't good, but he has options from his past graveyard shenanigans. It looks like he might just be grabbing a land.
That's the power of Grapple the Past on like cards like Grizzly Salvage and prior graveyard strategies and standard. You can get anything,
yeah,
not
really
just one
good.
of the 5 or 3.
Yeah, and decks like this that can just put their most powerful cards like proactively into the graveyard while furthering your strategy, it just makes that card so good. But Jim opts to just grab the green-black land.
Yep, we got to make our land drops. I think if Jim can just stay here and make his land drops, he can get his own Deep Fiend out there and get those Amalgams back and get in the same position he was last game.
Absolutely. The Deep Fiend here is pretty good, though, because now we got some good pressure on the board, and tapping Jim out. You know, Jim's deck is a little more clunky at what it does, but when it gets going, it's more of an engine.
Yeah.
Whereas Robert's relying on just kind of chaining these big, powerful spells together.
I think it's going to be green for a vessel, and then we're going to be like plus on the Deep Fiend go.
Yep, most likely.
Yeah, I don't even think, Jim.
No, he doesn't even have the vessel.
No.
He's got Gather.
So maybe that's just a pump fake on tap vessel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, not sure what Jim is posturing about here. Don't think he has a play to make because he already made the
Yeah.
land drop. So, I think maybe he's wondering if he made the land drop, but I think he did.
Yeah, he definitely played a land because Robert was on the play and Robert has not missed yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he has a 1-drop in the yard and he's thinking about whether to traverse here. That could be.
Yeah, there could be a traverse in the yard. Yeah, there's 2 traverses in his, or 4 traverses in his deck, so there's definitely a traverse there.
Okay, looks like that is what Jim is going to do.
Yep. So he's going to let Jace be eaten by this Deep Fiend at the expense of saving himself 5 life and getting to traverse.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he's going to grab here, actually. He might just get one of these... Oh, I saw him leaf the Distended Mindbender to the front, but...
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he gets.
I think he might need to get a cheap... Oh, wow,
Ooh,
that's
it's
a great
the
one.
winnower.
Yeah,
Yes.
very cool. So now he can get rid of Robert's Deep Fiend in the following turn.
Yeah, the winnower is great as it kills the Deep Fiend, and a lot of people don't realize about the winnower is it does have the keyword menace.
Yeah, it'll start getting in for 4.
It cannot be...
Jim gets in with
Chump blocked.
these random beats, and then later on in the game he can just recurse so many threats that need to be blocked at that point. That's a cool card for sure. I like that. All right, so it looks like Robert's leading off with a Gather the Pack of his own.
Yep. And it does not
I
appear...
don't think it has mastery.
No.
Yeah, no mastery, and he only hits two kind of unexciting.
Druid and a...
I guess he could take
Pilgrim's
this. Yeah, it's
Eye.
Pilgrim's Eye, that, and a Jace, but I don't
Jace.
think he would take the Jace here.
Yeah, I think he's already got this other Jace.
Oh, he
He's
proved me
thinking
wrong.
about it. I mean...
This Jace is
This
going to
could
flip, and you can play this one as
yeah,
later.
if he wants to flash back out of the pack and he envisions his Gather the Pack, or his other first Jace dying to the Goldleaf Winnower.
Yep. Yeah, I do like Jim's spot, though.
Interesting fact, last RPTQ season was when I was playing, and it was over in Rhode Island, and Jim lost in top 8 of the seals, so he is playing off of his invitation that he got for top 8ing and not top 4ing, so he is out for blood looking to get back here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he'll...
Jim is part of the Metagame Gurus team that's primarily an SCG team, but I certainly imagine he wants to get back to the PT as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so we're just going to play another Jace here as a looter, it looks like. Oh, no.
Oh,
Primal
Primal
Druid.
Druid.
All
And then
right.
we'll uptick target nothing, drop a Lumbering Falls, and pass it over.
So Jim with no board, but he can recover very quickly, especially with...
He has a hot copy of Haunted Dead in his hand now.
Yep.
Which will be great.
I think he's still probably going to lead with the Menace. The
Yeah, he can take 2, go to 16, and then winnower the Deep Fiend, and then ship turn.
Yep, and then he can start just reassembling his engine.
Once again, records are 5-1. This is a winning in. This was a 7-round tournament with 118 people.
All right, what's Jim leading? All right, lead with Gather.
Yep.
I guess he's trying to hopefully hit one of the creatures that lets him discard.
Does he still have Spell Mastery even though he exiled his Traverse? I can't really tell what those green cards are, if those are Gather the Packs, Vessels, or if they're other Traverses.
Yeah, it looks like they must be with him grabbing 2 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jim can just go ahead and finally get a few cheap creatures out. And now we're going to go for the Nissa, sure.
Yep, there's the Nissa. Nissa only has to survive for 2 turns now to flip, so very good here. Yep, we're still asking here. Time in the round, I'm not 100% sure. These players do have a time extension because they were pulled away for the feature matches. And then, once again, they do not do the thing where top 8 qualifies entirely. This one would have been almost there. It still would be only top 4, but no. Regardless of the size, 100, 200, 300, top 4 it is.
Yeah, but change they made recently.
Yep, very recent change. Yep, Rug Emerge, 4-color Amalgam. Alright, so by not playing our Gilt Leaf Winnower here, we are going to have to take another hit from the Deep Fiend unless we want to chump block, but I don't know if that's what Jim's plan is here.
Yeah, I don't think he would want to jump off with Nissa here.
Yeah.
It just represents too strong of a card later on in the game.
Yeah.
But Robert just grappled and decides to go with the Sanctum of Ugin.
Yep.
So he's going to start trying to chain his...
Get up to an Emrakul.
Yep. And now he's going to flash back... K return.
Turn. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So smack for 5. Jim goes down to 12 and then play the Sanctum.
It's funny when people say flashback K return. You even I just now looked at it, was like, oh my god, it's dealing 5 damage. It's like no, he actually literally minused it with Jace. Very cool.
Yeah, Jim's hand is very powerful, but it's just really clunky with what he's doing. He's almost in just 1 spell per turn territory, and all of his black mana is dealing him.
Oh, 400 years.
Yeah, and all of Jim's mana is all of his black mana is dealing him damage, and he's got a double black card in hand. And
yeah, Jim's in the same position this game that Robert's in last game, where if he wants to cast any of his spells, he's gonna take some hefty damage.
Exactly. Yeah, this is gonna add up.
This is not,
especially with Robert on the beatdown plan here.
Yeah, this is not at all where we want to be.
All right, so at least Jim was able to mill over a Haunted Dead, which is a card that he was really desperately looking to find for the graveyard.
That'll allow us to discard the Amalgam we're holding in our hand, as well as get back the one we already have in our yard.
Yep. The problem is they come in tapped, and Robert is actually presenting a pretty real clock.
Yeah. Jim's going to have to take 5 again next turn, go down to 7, and then take some damage off his lands.
Yep, then he'll be pretty stabilized, but we'll just see if Robert has a good follow-up.
Jim does have, I think, multiple copies of Deep Fiends in his hand.
He does. He can start chaining them next turn if he can live. With Robert deciding to get back the Sanctum of Ugin, though, it makes me think that he's going to start being able to chain as well.
Yeah, I think both players are getting to a very similar spot in the game, but the fact that Robert's ahead on both his mana base being less painful, life total, and board currently, I think Robert's just going to be so far ahead in this race.
Yeah, that's what it's feeling like. He's going to lead with another grapple here to start the turn off. And
there's another
his graveyard is a total mess, but he's got a lot of choices here. Nothing too amazing, though. I don't see any of the high-impact creatures, and I just see Sanctum of Ugins and the low-impact creatures.
Yeah, we're either getting back a nice, juicy Emerge target here, or a Sanctum, I guess.
Yep, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
So for Robert's sake, I really hope that he has one of the big Emerge creatures. Otherwise, he may just get outvalued by Jim in the upcoming turns.
Both players you can see here playing, thinking about their decisions, but having to play very fast, because the last thing they want to do is take a draw here and knock them both out.
And these matches are really grindy.
Yeah.
And they both are playing towards having to play a third game, so they are going to have to speed it up if they want to make sure.
Yep.
They've been warned to speed up.
Yep,
Yeah,
they've been warned to speed up, yep. If we get to the point where they, start talking about concessions, maybe I can input some of my judge knowledge there, but we'll see what happens. It's been,
so we
been
find
a long
Deep
time.
Fiend, and off the Gather the Pack with Mastery on flashback.
Okay. And we
get Deep Fiend and a
Ishkana, right? Yeah.
Now we get to play the second Sanctum. And Robert may just very well sack his own Deep Fiend, and to just try to tap Jim out.
Yeah.
All right, Jim's going to go ahead and do some of his discarding here.
Dan Jessup says they're both notoriously slow players.
They played game 1 pretty swiftly.
Yeah.
This game has had a lot more decisions.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, Jim decides to chump with the token that comes back with the dead, and has 2 amalgams that will trigger end of turn.
Yep.
So Jim only took 1 damage that turn from tapping his land for pain.
3 warnings being a game loss. Yeah, that's 3 game rule violations. As far as where slow play is upgrading, that's going to be how the head judge wants to go about this.
All right, looks like Robert's going to pass the turn. I think he'll be stopping in the upkeep, though he may just let Jim untap.
Yep, Jim is untapping, and then Jim is probably going to be moving to draw here unless Robert does anything here.
This is a tough play, and it's Robert's just gonna let Jim draw. I think he's gonna try to just go ahead and use the Deep Fiend as a tap down once he can provide lethal damage or near so.
Yep.
So he may not even cast anything end of turn here. And Robert will gladly trade away his Primal Druid, or chump block with the Primal Druid to grab a land out of his deck.
You would actually need to get a slow play warning. That is correct. I imagine they just gave these players slow play cautions. I don't think they actually added turns to the end of the match or anything. Yeah, we're going to get into some awkward staring contest here where they're going to be looking at each other, each with a Deep Fiend in their hand.
Yeah, I mean, Jim has, it looks like
first.
3 Deep Fiends and a Mindbender, as well as the...
Players have been told to speed up. The next time it happens, they are going to get a warning.
Okay, so yep, we have a caution for slow play out, not a warning. So if it happens again, then we'll be getting the warning, and then turns will be added to the game, I imagine.
Yeah, I just saw that interaction come up recently. Somebody had got a slow play warning towards the end of a very think it was an important match, maybe a win in, and they added 2 extra turns.
Yeah,
that was a new thing. I'd seen.
Yeah, that's a recent change. Not recent, but that's a change they made to the IPG a little while ago. Where I think the thought behind that is that if you're giving someone a warning for slow play, adding extra time to someone who's already playing slow is going to help. But if you say extra turns, then that guarantees that both that player and their opponent are going to get these extra turns to play. And the how long a turn is not determined by how long you play. It's just a turn.
Looks like Jim's getting ready to attack with all of his creatures that have value both on the battlefield and in the graveyard.
Yeah,
So
he could be trying to force a Deep Fiend here.
yeah, I don't think that Robert's going to bite, though, but I think he will block with the Druid and just get a land out of his deck.
Yep. Robert,
He doesn't even... He wants to keep it around. And okay, so he's probably planning on emerging with it next turn, but... Jim with 3 Deep Fiends in hand, I think that Jim is now... It's going to be heavily favored. Just being able to tempo Robert out. Robert taking 5 that turn, and Jim still has a Jace activation he's yet to utilize.
Judges don't give official cautions. It's just like a verbal caution. You don't record the caution, and that's where warnings and game losses and such go. And yes, this is Cash Lake Stratton and Maximum Max Mitchell on commentary.
I have been known to be called that. Now, all right, we're going mind bending here.
Yep. And
it is going to cost Jim 2 life.
Yep. Jim is going to force the issue here.
But yeah, he still has the ability to flash in his Deep Fiends off of the Yav Coast. And Mindbender getting the 2-for-1, virtual 3-for-1 here. It's really going to force the issue on Robert.
And keep in mind that unlike previous cards designed like Descended Mindbender, Descended Mindbender just discard, not exile the card.
It is discard, yeah.
So these cards can come back with stuff like Grapple the Past.
But yeah, we're going to force the issue on the Deep Fiend, and now Robert will fail to go ahead and search. So
I think Robert actually made a misplay here. He's thinking he could tap the Descended Mindbender, not realizing it's a cast trigger. Yep. So...
I think that he has to make that play regardless, but he was just mistaken on the timing of it.
Yeah, Descended Mindbender is a 5-5 and not a 5-6, so it's not going to profitably trade. Yeah.
But Jim will be able to tick up on the Elder Deep Fiend, so it won't be able to attack.
Yep.
And Robert really can't even sack his Sanctums, otherwise they'll just be getting taken.
Yep.
So he is going to sack both. So he's daring Jim to have answers to all the big threats he's getting, basically.
Yep.
But the tap down was actually relevant because I think Jim might have been planning on playing his own Deep Fiend this turn.
Yeah.
Off of the Mindbender, which has already done its job, but now Robert may be able to get in for a little bit of damage here, and Jim is at 9, so...
And there's the hand
of 2 Deep Fiend, an Ishkana, and 2 Jaces.
So we're definitely going to get a Jace here, and then as far as what the other thing we're going to get, it's either going to be one of the 2 Deep Fiends or an Ishkana.
I think you take the Ishkana because he's got a much tougher time dealing with the 4 tokens, but the tempo provided by the Elder Deep Fiend tap down, I mean, with Jim having his own, he'll just be able to respond, so yeah, that makes sense for me that he's going to discard the Ishkana here.
Yeah, Jim can just float and then respond by playing his own 5-6 and letting them bump heads.
Yep.
Yep, so Jason Ishkana going to hit the bin for Robert.
And now we get to tick up. Oh no, we're going to just tick down, but does Jim have any... Okay.
Transgress.
He floated the mana and we're in main phase. Yep. Okay.
Okay, sure. Perfect. Yep. There goes a Deep Fiend. So Deep Fiend and Jace in Robert's hand. And I think Jim's navigated this game very well.
Oh yeah, this game has turned from where I thought Jim was far behind to
I would agree.
Pretty far ahead.
Yeah, I thought
his
for sure.
life total is the only issue, but I think he'll be able to stabilize.
Yeah, he's definitely in a situation where I like right now. This game is indeed gas.
Yeah, Jim played very well. No shots at Robert. He played well too, but I think that... I guess I'd never seen this match, this sort of pseudo-mirror play out, but I do kind of like what Jim Stan is doing here.
This is like... Standard's been so interesting. We had like Cawblade, which is like these mid-range mirrors for a while. We had Delver, which was like these, grindy, tempo mirrors. Then we had, Mono by Control, which was super grindy too. This is like a ramp mirror. This is very interesting. We've never seen this.
It's also, these mirrors are incredibly hard to play.
Yeah.
I dabbled a little bit with the Temur deck on Moto a few weeks ago. In these Emrakul or Emerge strategy mirrors, it's so hard to figure out what the right lines are and how to sequence your spells.
Yeah, I have not picked up this Emerge deck at all. I know Connor had it built on my Moto account when he was doing some testing, but I have not picked it up. I'm more of the control deck player myself. But this is...
Yeah, Jim's just going to get to draw. We all know that Robert has the Deep Fiend in hand, but he's opting to wait until probably begin combat. He may even let Jim attack.
Robert
Jim's hand is just great.
Robert has one Emrakul main deck and then one in the sideboard. Not very.
Robert's deck is very similar to the Andrew Brown list
Yeah,
from the PT with
it's not like your
some
list
minor
cover.
updates.
No triple Emrakul main deck.
Yeah, I had tried that version. I drew too many Emrakuls.
Yeah, he's not playing Nissa's Pilgrimage either.
That was the
Not
version I had tried.
Yeah, he's not. That's we're not going that deep.
Yeah, he likes the Jaces, which I do like as well. That card is obviously great.
I mean, Jace is what allowed both of these players to get to this point.
Yep.
You know, just the fact they were able to sort out the excess lands. Robert sorted out his excess land, and Jim hit lands.
So Jim is down to 4, but he's trying to work out whether or not he can actually just go for the win here. I think if he enters combat, he forces Robert to tap down.
I mean, he's swinging for 11.
It is 11. It's lethal, but we know that he's got the Deep Fiend in hand. So Jim's going to start off with a Haunted Dead here. Hardcast. Infiltrating into Robert's
This is a good play for Jim, because this lets Jim...
now we can emerge off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too hasty. Jim definitely has a lot of patience here, and he's going to know the right time to flash. But 3 Deep Fiends in a row, I think this is just going to be insurmountable for Robert. The tempo is just going to be too great. So I think now Jim will respond here, probably.
Jim gets a warning for slow play.
Jim received a warning for slow play. Okay.
So Jim's just got to make sure to keep up his pace of play because he does look like he's in a favorable position here.
Yeah. So if this is game 2, so if we go to game 3, we are going to have extra turns at the end of that game. Or if they go to this game, they will have extra turns at this game, I would imagine.
Yeah, these games have been grinding. This may be nearing the end of the round, actually.
I definitely think if Jim does not win this game, that it's going to be very interesting to see what happens game 3.
All right, Jim's just going to opt to go to attack step. Or maybe those are the cards that were tapped. I'm not sure.
Yep, that's what
I think those were what was tapped, and now we're just going to plus on that Deep Fiend, and Jim's just going to say go, I believe.
Jim not responding with his own Deep Fiend now, which I like, because what will be able to happen is if he can survive this turn of Robert's turn, what he can do is he can untap, play the Deep Fiend, tap both Robert's Deep Fiends, and go for the win.
Yeah, he does need to survive this turn, though, because his mana does not allow him to cast the Deep Fiend.
If Robert finds his fourth Deep Fiend,
that'll be game,
that'll be it.
What else would do it here? He has a Lumbering Falls. If he has enough mana to K-return, I'm not sure. I guess it really depends on what's in his hand.
He can't K-return plus activate. He doesn't have enough for that.
Yep, not enough.
Yeah, we plus on a... So Jim can afford to be hit by either one of the Deep Fiends or the Lumbering Falls. He can't be hit by the big Deep Fiend. So Jim's life total being 4 here is absolutely perfect, because that's where Jim wants to be, because he can take a hit for 3.
Yep.
On tap.
Yeah, the players are getting a little bit animated here. I think they're maybe just talking about some earlier plays, and
yeah,
I think Robert is saying how close he is, and maybe just doesn't have an out here.
I don't know.
I don't know
what's
what that
happening.
was.
Yeah. Appeal?
Yeah.
All right. So it appears we have an appeal here. So I'll talk about this for those of you in the chat that don't know how the judging system of a competitive relevant. So when you go to an event like a Star City Games Open or a Grand Prix, you see a person in a burgundy or red shirt. This is your head judge. Every decision that goes on at this event ultimately comes down to them. Therefore their word is final. They're like the final arbiter. And every other judge you see is going to be a floor judge. So when a floor judge gives you a ruling that you don't agree with, you do have the right to appeal. So it appears that one of the players has appealed the warning, and you can see right behind Robert, and you can see the red stripes on his shirt. We have level 3 judge John Shannon over there. John Shannon used to be a level 4. He actually head judged Pro Tour Honolulu a while ago, and he head judged the Pro Tour in... I forget what Pro Tour was, but the one where the guy ripped the lightning helix. He had judged
that's a long time ago.
Yeah, John's been a judge for a long, long time. So I think it appears that the players are like arguing and not looking too happy here. So I think there was an
I'm not sure what. Yeah, I'm not sure what the ruling was. Maybe it looks like is that an evolving wilds he forgot to crack at the end of turn. Maybe that was the appeal. He said he would go to his turn and he just wanted to crack his evolving wilds. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a major thing, but I guess it is. hopefully they got a 2-3 minute
Yeah.
extension there with that.
Yeah, they got something. He was over there way too short of a time for me to think that he overturned.
Okay.
So I would guess that in the land's into play tapped also.
Yeah.
So I think if this wasn't upheld.
All right, so Robert is trying to figure out if he's got a way to win here. It looks like he now just has to decide if he can live through the following turn.
Yeah, I think what
if
actually
he had the win, he would certainly.
I think what actually happened is since there's probably a land off screen for Robert, if he had fetched at end step, he would have had enough mana to go K return plus activate.
Yeah.
So I think that's
very
that's
possible.
probably what cost him this game. Yeah, he's gonna have to gather the pack and pray that he hits that deep fiend now.
3, 4, 5. He didn't
Nope.
even hit a creature.
Nope. Yep.
Did he have the K return in hand? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
What did he have? Jace. Blue. Does he have the Deep Fiend?
If he has the deep fiend,
Well,
it's
then
over.
that would make yeah.
He just sacks for the deep fiend that Jim plussed on, and then go
And
deep
attack for
fiend,
5, yeah.
deep
Tap
fiend,
those
tap,
4.
attack for 5.
No,
Oh,
it's
no,
just a Jace.
Jim will flash him the deep fiend,
And that's the
Robert
game,
extend
yeah.
the hand, and that's it. Jim
Yeah.
Davis in 2.
Yeah, I don't think that Robert's minor misplay on the Evolving Wilds
Yeah.
actually made a difference with only Jace being
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
So,
He wouldn't have had enough mana to do it. He didn't have the K return.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, good games for Jim. Good luck to him in the top 8. Well played by Robert as well. It looks
Yeah.
like Jim's deck just outpaced his a little bit better draws for Jim, and four Deep Fiends is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, Jim is going to be back in the top 8 of second consecutive RPTQ here. Hopefully he can close it down this time. He lost to God, what's his name? Chase something last time.
Kovac?
Yep, Chase Kovac. Got him last time. I'm not the expert on Northeast ringers, but between the two of us, we got it.
But yeah, I think that match went pretty long, so we're not going to have a backup match. But they'll be announcing the top 8 pretty soon. We'll get you guys that list and what the.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we got the standings here.
I think we'll get the Falcon back in the nest here in a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
But yeah, I think that Jim's gonna have a good time if he's just facing a bunch of Bant Company decks. As
Yeah,
long as he doesn't get like the Bant Company nut draw.
Let me see. I have the standings here in front of me. Oh, this
he
is
just
last
grabbed
round.
them.
He has them. Okay. You want me to do the math?
You have the match.
The matches?
Is it this one?
The matches. For this
Match?
patch.
Oh, the pairings? I don't have pairings. We didn't get this.
I don't see those.
So,
You guys, is Jim coming down?
yeah.
Okay, we'll get
Cool.
Jim. We'll get Jim Davis on here. So if I did my math right, we have these 16s that drew to 17s, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of 15s that played. So Jim is definitely going to be on the play in top 8.
What's going on, Jim? Good
you go.
game.
Yeah, get him in the middle. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
come
we
on
got
in.
a seat right here for you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on? Good games.
I feel like the post-game interview is something lacking in Magic coverage, where it's like, like...
Yeah, how do you feel? You're
Right,
at Disney
yeah.
World?
Yeah,
right, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the sheriff strikes
Yeah,
out, and they're
yeah.
like,
I guess
know,
you got
yeah.
one more.
what happened, man?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Gotta-
You swung a
gotta
miss, a
Absolutely.
curveball.
Get the clip
You know,
on.
Yeah.
For wins and losses, I guess it's good. But yeah, I mean, that was a really, really, really tough game.
Yeah.
Rob's,
Yeah, those were nice. I
Yeah.
feel like both games, at one point, it looked like he was way far ahead, and then you were able to claw back with your engine.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, I just put a bunch of dudes in play.
Yeah.
And I'm...
The recursive engine with the amalgams there was really nice.
Yeah,
in
like,
that.
it's a weird matchup. It's, like, damage racy, but at the same time, like, also kind of grindy, too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's kind of like Fairies was, where you like kind of like can all of a sudden just swing and like one person
Yeah.
can just die
Yeah.
instantly.
Yeah, so the chat's asking, what was the appeal about? I'm actually interested in that,
Was it
too.
Ewild
Was it
and
the
Turn?
wilds?
I got a slow play warning.
Okay.
And I mean, Rob's great. Rob's a great player. I've been
Yeah,
with him for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Rob's not the fastest player. I'm not the
Yeah,
fastest player
yeah,
either.
yeah.
But I felt that over the course of the match, he was taking more time than I was.
Yeah.
And like, it got to the point where the judge was like, okay, next time someone's getting in trouble, and then like I got in trouble. But I felt like he was taking longer earlier,
Yeah,
so...
you and him are both from the same area, right? Southern New York grinders.
For sure,
Yeah,
me and Rob have played
Yeah.
had many battles. We're always playing
Yeah.
slow decks too,
Yeah.
so we're always in these
Perfect.
long, grindy games. Rob's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Rob
were
played really well.
we were talking about how in the last RPTQ that I was actually playing at, you lost in top 8 to Chase Kovac,
Yes.
and so you're out for blood this time. You're gonna win this top 8 hopefully, and get
Yeah,
One
I-
match. Take it to one match
Yeah,
this
well,
time.
I'm just playing Magic, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of, almost a weekend off for me. No
Yeah.
Jersey,
Yeah.
I'm just here,
Yeah.
having fun. I go to Hawaii, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Been there twice, played Pro Tour. My first Pro Tour was in Hawaii in 06.
Okay.
So I'd love to go back. If I go, cool. If I don't, whatever.
It sounds like fate to me.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be rooting for you for sure.
That's a big word. I don't know why I like that word. How about just playing Magic?
Yeah, that's the attitude you need to have. That's the reason you're sitting there and I'm not. You have that right attitude.
I'm trying.
So tell us a little bit about the deck. You've been playing this one you did well at the classic.
The
last week,
classic,
right?
yeah. I mean, this deck is the hardest deck I've ever played in Standard.
Even I was playing just the 3-color Emerge one. Even that was very difficult.
No,
This
yeah.
just adds an extra element to
Yes,
it. So.
I've played I played Owen's Team Merge
Yeah,
deck,
sure.
Yeah.
like regionals or whatever, with no practice at all, and that deck was hard.
That was really
This
hard,
deck's
yeah.
even harder.
Yeah,
The
it looks
sequencing
like it,
is
yeah.
insane.
The Amalgams was what won you game 1.
Yeah, and I mean the engine's great. The deck's really powerful. We tested it for the Invitational. Ross Merriam and Andrew Jessup put the most work into it.
Yep.
So they had the most reps with it. I played it in the NV, went 2-2. Was playing. Honestly, I played terrible today. Honestly, I mean I've punted one game in almost every match, and my one loss I just happened to lose another game too.
Yeah.
But the deck is just so hard to play. It's so powerful, but like all your sequencing, every single
Real
turn,
tough, yeah.
every tutor, every land drop.
Mr. Benjamin Friedman qualified at his
Correct.
RPTQ play in this deck, right?
Yeah, Ben tested with Team
Yeah.
MGG.
Yeah.
Team MGG invited Ben Friedman, Frank Scarron, Ross Merriam, Todd Anderson, and
Yeah.
Harlan Fear
Yeah.
to test with us for New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we were all holed up, and we all played the deck except for Kevin and Harlan.
Yeah, I was talking to Frank, and Frank was telling me how much fun he was having this deck, but how hard it was to play.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
it's
impression
sweet.
got.
I mean, I want to keep working on it. I mean, it's really, really good. I just need to play more games with it, honestly.
For sure.
Like, I feel like I've top-8'd 2 tournaments with it now, and I still feel like I'm just barely
Still-
learning
just
how to play
learning
it.
it, yeah, for sure.
It's really, really tough. It's great, though. It's a really powerful deck. It does some
Yeah.
things. It has some draws, so you feel like you're playing Modern.
Yeah.
You're just like, here's
Where
8
you got
power on
that
turn 3.
Where you had the 3 amalgams. That was a really
Right,
that
yeah.
First
yeah.
game
Just
was
like out of
awesome.
nowhere, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
dredge ya.
dredge ya.
You know, like,
Yeah,
so
I think it was you started out game 1 so like in the driver's seat, then it kind of slipped, and you were able to like close the door before you got there, and then game
Yeah.
2 it seemed you were like super far behind. You were able to just claw your way back in. It was super cool to see your deck play on both angles, from both being ahead and closing the door and being behind and actually getting inside and
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing was that in game 2, like, I had all the resources in my hand.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't really get them
Yeah.
to play fast.
Your
I
hand was a
couldn't
little
find-
clunky, but
Yeah, we
once you drew
saw
the
that.
land, it was
Right.
going to be insane.
And I couldn't find the discard outlet to get the cards out of my hand.
Yeah.
So I had like a Haunted Dead and the 3/1 flyer in my hand.
Yeah.
Once I finally hit one up a gather, then I could discard them and start rolling.
Yeah.
And then things just kind of get out of hand. And I had multiple deep fiends because
Did you
of that
have
as well.
4 deep fiends at the end or 3?
Yeah.
You had a lot
I think
of
it was 3. I cast-
Robert saw 3 as well.
Yeah, I cast them. I cast the Mind Mender and I had 3. My hand was 3 deep fiends.
Yeah.
So as long as I survived that turn.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was tanking, it was sort of like, well, can I?
Oh, that was a nice turn when you got to transgress and mine.
And mine,
Yes.
yeah,
a
that
sweet
was
turn,
that was definitely the
That was
turning
definitely
point.
clutch. 'Cause we were both
Yeah.
building up these huge resources.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where like both players have to play very carefully because we're both at like 9. Where
And both
one,
your mana is dealing you a little bit of damage every
right,
time.
and
Like
then
so,
one
yeah.
one end step tap all your team and kill you. It could happen very, very easily.
Yep.
You know, we were talking about, when both players had multiple deep fiends in their hand, who's going to have the last deep fiend
Right.
for the final tap, and that ended
Right.
up being you because of your transgress plus mind bender play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
that was the goal there. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, very well played.
Thank you.
Very nice
Appreciate it.
job.
Yeah, good luck in the top 8.
Let's just keep rolling, you know. Let's
Hey,
keep playing
keep it
Magic.
going.
Thanks, guys.
No problem,
Have a good
Jim.
one.
All right, Jim Davis. He's going to head back up there.
The chat favorite, so
Yep.
maybe we'll be able to get him on camera for the win. The PT win, basically.
All right, so we can go down this list. We are going to have Jeff Pica, Mitchell Grant, Benjamin Feingersh, and Zachary Keene all in top 8 with 17 points. Jim Davis won, so he will move to 18 points. And then, do we have any updates on any of the other 15-pointers?
Not that I've heard.
Chief Abs won.
Okay, so
Gerard Fabiano won, so he will be in there as well. So yeah, this is
That's a nice top 8.
Kevin lost. So
Kevin did not make it. Did Daddy?
So
I don't know. I don't remember who his opponent was though.
I am fairly certain that this will be the first RPTQ that I have ever attended where more players in top 8 have had success and have been to the Pro Tour than players that have not.
Yeah, this looks like a lot
yeah.
of people I've recognized
Yeah,
their names.
like
from
Jeff
now.
Pike has played on a Pro Tour. I don't know Mitchell. Ben Feingersh has played on the Pro Tour. I don't know if Zachary Keene has. I know he's been close. If RPTQ won, he has. Jim obviously has. Gerard has. Kevin Jones has. This is
Yeah,
definitely.
this is a pretty stacked
Yeah.
RPTQ, so this
Yes.
top 8 it'll be nice. It comes down to one match for each of these guys.
If someone showed this top 8 to me and was like, oh, this was the top 8 of
the
last
GP or
week's
something.
GP
Yeah,
or Open,
yeah.
I would totally believe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. This is totally something I believe. I think Ben lost last round.
Okay, so we didn't make the
Yeah,
top
I
8.
don't think Ben's live.
All right, looks like.
Standings after 7.
All right,
All right.
great. We got the standings
All
and
right.
we get the final official.
All right. So, I think the chat's going to be happy with that first one.
All right, yeah, Jim Davis in first place, Ralph Batesh in second,
Good.
Gerard Fabiano in third.
Okay, I got some heaters.
Jeff Pica in fourth.
Okay, 4 Pro Tour players so far.
Mitchell Garrett in fifth. Zachary Keene in sixth. Ben Feingersh in seventh. And Michael Good in eighth. It was a clean-cut top 8.
Yep, it is a clean cut. Michael Good being the only 16-pointer to get in there, winning from 13. Yeah, I know those first four guys have all played on the Pro Tour before, and I'm not sure about the 5th through 8th guys, but
Ben definitely has.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ben has. So 5 of the top 8 is 100% played on the Pro Tour. So yes, more of these guys have played on the Pro Tour than not.
I think we're on at least 5 company decks.
All right, so
Five
the
company
earlier
decks.
running bet that I had run up, it looks like I'm the champion.
Yep.
What else is new? But it
Yep.
looks like 5 Bant company decks in the top 8. So then
Yep.
we've got Ralph was on an Emerge strategy.
Yeah.
Jim was on 4-color Emerge. And
Yeah.
do we know the last deck?
Fabiano was on Black Blue Zombies.
Fabiano on Black Blue Zombies. So,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these decks that the non-company players have are favored against company. So
Yeah.
we'll see how the matchups pair.
Yeah, I certainly would not be surprised seeing like any combination of these guys queue for the Pro Tour. This
Absolutely
is a great top 8.
I guess once we get the matches, we'll make our predictions.
Yeah, well we're gonna
It's
we can have it
1
all.
versus 8,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
so it's gonna
lay it
be
out.
it's gonna be Jim Davis, our first seed, having the choice of the play versus Michael Good. And what's Michael on?
I'm gonna go ahead and just guess the Bant because we know the other 3
Yep,
players.
so
So
it's
he's on Bant. I'm
4-color
going with Jim here.
4-color Amalgam versus Bant. Yep, I like Jim. Then we're gonna have Grand Prix champion Ralph Batesh, who's on
Teamer Emerge.
Teamer Emerge, versus Ben Feingersh, who's on Bant.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Emerge here. I
Yeah.
like the Kozilek's returns.
And then we have Gerard Fabiano on Blue Black Zombies versus Zach Keene, and I'm not sure what Zach's on. And on Gerard's
think
on
he's
Blue
on
Black.
Bant.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Blue Black
So
versus
I like
Bant.
Blue Black there.
And then Jeff Pica and Mitchell Garant are going to be playing the Bantmere match.
That one I'm gonna go with whoever's on the play. So
Yeah,
that would be
well,
Zach.
We're not
right?
going to put the Bantmere on coverage. We're going to try not to, at least. Unless you guys want a Bantmere, you guys can comment in there what you want.
Yeah, if you guys let us know what you're thinking. But
Yeah. So I'll restate those one more time. We have Jim Davis on 4-color Amalgam versus Michael Good on Bant. Ralph Batesh on Teamer Emerge versus Ben Feingersh on Bant. Gerard Fabiano on Blue Black Zombies versus Zachary Keene on Bant. And Jeff Pica versus Mitchell Garant playing the Bantmere match. So you're going to have your Bant. It's just what side you would like it with.
yeah, Bant with the side of what?
Yes.
But yeah, we should have the top 8 on very soon. I don't think the deck list will be up tonight, but at some point they will be on the
Yep.
Kerwin's Game Store website.
Yeah.
For a little nice tournament report
Yep.
sometimes. So
Yeah, I
very
mean,
cool.
Kerwin, check out the Kerwin's website. Josh has written articles for them before. I have as well. There's good Magic players have written articles on there too. You can see like Kevin Jones, Dan Ward. I think there's like a weekly Ward featuring Harlan Freer on there right now. There's a lot of really good stuff on that website. So absolutely check us out at kerwinsgamestore.com.
Yeah, make sure to follow here, and also all the past broadcasts will make their way to YouTube at some point. So if you missed anything and you want to catch the action, you
Yep,
can always check it out there.
absolutely. So we are gonna try to figure out what match we're gonna get on here.
Let's see.
What? Roll a d4. I mean, we could.
What are you thinking, Josh? You got to
Yeah.
be the kicker.
Yeah,
here.
Josh, you're calling this.
I mean, I'm kind of personal with the Sultai Emerge deck, the Amalgam deck.
You like Jim? We just said we can have Jim versus.
Jim's a good Magic.
We could have a
player.
Jim run back.
I like the Sultai Emerge deck.
We can run Jim back. I think Ralph Batesh versus Ben Feingersh. They said
That's a pretty good one. I
Yeah,
like
Those are
that.
two
Yeah.
powerhouses.
That's I like that one. Let's do that one.
That's Ben Feingersh top 8 2 GPs and Ralph
And Ralph
Batesh just 1-1.
Yeah.
So we got these guys running super hot.
Chat is saying zombies though. That's
Chat wants zombies.
That's Gerard.
How many we got?
Fabiano is playing against Zach Keene, and that's a high quality match too. Zach Keene not very well known, but he's been running hot.
He's no Bantmere.
We're not doing the Bantmere.
No,
I'm a band aficionado.
Yeah,
even I
they're
can't
not
handle
doing the
that.
Bantmere. No.
Jim is always the right choice.
If you guys want to go see Bantmeres, you can go watch every other match. So
2 people said Jim is always
all right, so we either got Jim Davis, the Clash of the Monsters of Ben versus Ralph, or we have the Blue Black Zombie matchup. Those are the ones that we got because we're not going to see the Bantmere. So we're gonna let Josh watch over the chat here and come to his executive decision while the Falcon scouts the field.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Ralph versus Ben, but
Yeah, I think
definitely
that's
go with
what I like
whatever you
too.
guys want to see.
I like Ralph versus Ben. If you want to watch high quality Magic, it's definitely going to be Ralph versus Ben at the highest
sure.
there. But you know, Gerard is certainly an insane player, but you know.
Can I watch zombies so I don't have to give Jim more slow things?
I mean, Jim's on zombies. It's like part of these.
Hey, remember, guys, this last match is for the winners will all make the Pro Tour.
Literally 50-50.
All right. We need a decision, Josh. Where are we going?
Flip a coin.
Chat wants zombies. You want Jim Davis. We want Clash. You choose. Bad Company's not happening. That's a no-go.
Company marriage.
The
There's
company
company
mirror.
in every.
Yeah.
There is a company.
You're
that
gonna
can-
get your company. Don't you worry.
good company.
I gotta get this.
Let's go Fabiano.
Okay.
All right, we're going blue-black
we're
zombies,
going
guys.
blue-black zombies.
If the match ends up being real quick, maybe we get a game 3 on
All
too.
right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. We're.
I think this matchup heavily favors Fabiano. I don't think that's the one thing. I don't think
That's
this.
what he beat to get in the top 8.
Yeah, I don't think this matchup is going to take that long. I think blue-black zombies can't ever lose unless Gerard
Yeah.
gets incredibly mana screwed or.
Yeah. So we're gonna take Gerard Fabiano versus Zach Keen, and that will be our match of blue-black zombies versus Bant Company. And then if we have time, maybe we'll go over to Batesh versus Feingersh or Davis versus Good. And regardless, I know we're gonna have time to go over that company mirror.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. I think we'll be getting that matchup in just a minute. And
Yeah.
the winners of all these will be qualified for the Pro Tour Hawaii. Right?
Yeah, they're going to be going to Honolulu. It's going to be a great event out there. They've run the Pro Tour there many times. You can see that. I think they had it there during a Lara block. I know there was like a very famous thing where someone took an O-ring over a Michaeloth, and they debated that pick very heavily. That was when I was first getting into Magic.
I'm always taking the Goif. I don't care.
Yeah, you like the Michaeloth?
I'm taking the foil Goif.
Oh, the foil Goif.
Everyday Louis.
Oh, man.
But you know me. I'll rare draft a $2 card.
Pascal's the
Auto
boy.
draft.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you want to do? You wanna come in, or do you wanna?
You can have 2 people if you want.
You can have 2, 3. Doesn't
I
matter.
don't care. I'm down.
Yeah, hop
All right,
in.
Hop in.
Get in here.
Do you want the comfy chair, or do you want this?
I'm down with the chair in the back. Stratton.
What?
This is yours.
That's me. Oh, that's from Mark
All right,
Morrison.
we got.
All right, you go with that chair.
Falcons.
All right, Daddy is not going to be coming into the booth. Daddy lost a winning in and is probably
Chain smoking?
Not chain. Yeah, chain smoking is probably a good guess.
Daddy in the booth.
He can sit on my lap.
Yeah, we can get the daddy in here.
Well, you'd have to sit next.
There's no way.
I mean,
I'm twice the size of him.
I don't know. I'm like twice the size of all of you, though.
You're twice the size of me, so you're
not
4
twice the
times the
size.
size
Maybe-
of Kevin
maybe-
Jones.
I mean, I used to be twice the size of you.
No.
Yes.
No.
All right, we'll save this for another time. We're
Daddy-
gonna settle this.
Daddy is sitting on my lap. That's final.
All right, game.
All right, well, rock, paper, scissors for it.
All right.
Let's go. I always throw scissors, so twice. Back-to-back scissors.
Alrighty.
So what are your predictions here? I know I went with mine. I like the 3 non-company
All right.
decks in those matchups, and then
I'm taking.
Yeah.
I'm taking. We'll all go down in a row.
Here, let's
We'll-
write 'em down.
Write it
Let's
down.
get
Write it down. Maybe we can make like a dinner bet or something.
sure.
All right. So you can write down for mine, for Alex's. I'm taking Jim Davis
Yep.
over Michael Good. I'm taking Ralph Batesh over Ben Feingersh.
Okay.
I'm taking Gerard Fabiano over Zach Keen.
Yep.
And I think Jeff Pica will beat Mitchell Garant in the mirror. So I am taking 1, 2, 3, and the top 4 right now will be the top 4.
Yep.
That's my visit. That's mine.
What about you, Josh?
I'm taking Jim.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm taking Ben.
Taking Ben.
Yep.
Taking Gerard.
Yep.
And I'm going to throw Mitchell.
Yep.
Throw Mitchell a
shot.
bone here.
Yep.
That's my
I mean,
that's my loose pick.
Picking Ben over Ralph is very close too. They're both masters.
we watched the Temerge deck versus Bant Company on camera, and Bant Company got him in 3.
He did get
Yeah.
him, but
Yeah.
it is a close match. And
Yeah.
Very close match.
If,
Again, what we talked about earlier is the Temerge deck sometimes just kind of plays like a ramp deck, and all you draw is ramp spells.
Yeah.
All right.
And you don't do anything. And the Bant Company deck, if they go 2, 3, 4, 5, you're in trouble.
And you said you're taking the 3 that I took for the first 3, and then,
Yeah, and then my last one,
did
it's
you want Mitchell or Jeff?
I'm gonna go with Mitchell because that's my last name.
Yep.
Boom,
Okay.
we're in.
It's Max's
I'm
deck.
taking Jeff just because Jeff
my
is
birthright to pick
the
him.
man.
Jeff's probably the correct choice because he's on the play in the Bant Mirror. So, it's totally
All right,
correct
there's our
to pick
picks.
that. I'm
Let
just
us know
picking
your
Mitchell
picks, guys.
Yep.
Because, I like shots in the dark sometimes.
You guys
Okay, take a shot in the dark.
you guys can make your own dinner bets at home about who you think's gonna get there. You guys consult out with the players as they win or lose. There is, I know the feeling of losing in top 8 of like an old school PTQ and losing win-ins, but I don't know the feeling of being one match away, so I'm sure.
I've never top
I've
8
been
in
there.
PTQ.
Yeah, it's certainly probably not the best.
I came super close to top 8 in PTQ once.
Yeah,
It was
it's not easy.
And I got shut out by Robert Valentine, I think his name is. And
The Cupid Killer.
I don't know. The guy had a Sagu Mauler and he savage punched and become immense me in one turn. And
Savage.
Is Fabiano a regular current? Fabiano is not a regular, but he always comes here for our
The big tournaments.
PTQs. We had Fabiano here for a PTQ where he lost in top 8 and he ended up losing to Dan.
That was when Delano won.
Yeah, it was Delano's tournament, with the one where Jonathan Delano, local area Pro Tour player, won. He lost to Danny Puffalopoulos or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And then Danny ended up Danny ended up scooping to John in the finals to take the 6 boxes, as he could not make the Pro Tour. Gerard was certainly not happy about that.
of course not.
And
I
then
would be pretty tilted about
I think we also had Gerard here in the top 8 of one of the 518's finest when they took down the PTQ, Mr. Jared Betcher. We've had many PTQs here at Kerwin's. You know, if you're ever in Catskill, New York, or in New York City, or in Albany, come check this store out. It is.
It's huge.
Yeah, it
you
is.
wouldn't expect how big it is.
This is the biggest store that I've ever been to. I think
Same.
like Steve Kerwin literally like bought out a warehouse or something, and now is like off doing the store. I have
phenomenal place.
Yeah.
Every time I come here, there's more things to see.
Yeah, just the gaming room itself probably fits what? You could fit 200, 300 players.
Yeah, they
probably.
ran like a 350 person old school PTQ here.
Yeah.
And it's like the game room itself is bigger.
Yeah, they've run 5Ks here. Do you want all top? Yeah, we'll take
Sure.
it.
We're gonna get the deck lists. We're not gonna be able to have them typed up tonight, but they
Yeah.
will be on the website probably in the next week.
Yep.
Yeah, they were up for regionals, I think, within a few days.
Yep. That one's SCG. Like they really want that too, but
Yeah.
Wizards actually does want the top 8 because it goes on the Wizards
Yeah,
website
they
too.
take it. Yeah. We're not going to be having an interview with Kevin about his tournament. We had that earlier. Kevin talked about his tournament. I'm sure Kevin, is not.
You guys can catch Kevin here every Wednesday for the weekly
Kevin,
award.
if you come to Kerwin's Game Store, there is a good chance that you will be seeing Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy got his juice.
Yep. Daddy works in the basement here. If you come in, there's a nice guy here. His name is EJ. You can go up to him and be like, "Hey, take me down to the basement to see Daddy," and you will head right down to the basement, and Daddy Jones will be right down there waiting for you.
If
right
you've ever seen the Goonies,
only at Kerwin's Game Store.
If you've ever seen the Goonies, they keep them locked up.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
They don't let him out of here.
That's what happened when I came down for the weekly award. I came
Yeah.
down to find
Yeah.
Kevin. He was just
all
in a cage.
strapped up.
We only ever let him out for opens. That's,
you let
on
him
the
out for
weekly
opens
award.
and the weekly award.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
You just leave him with a couple Red Bulls and a pack of smokes.
Yeah,
and it's good.
Jim Davis came all the way up from New York City to bring food today. It was Kevin's enlightening moment. We can talk about Robert Cedar finished top 16. Mark Morrison, or no, it's Kyle Morrison. Lots of Morrisons.
Yeah, Mark, I think. Top
Yeah.
20. Oh, you didn't even top
25th.
24?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players in this
The
event.
tilt.
Yeah,
there was a lot of
those
them when
last
I
couple
went to.
rounds are tough.
Yeah. There was a lot of really big names.
Is there any
the last
spiciness in the
RPTQ I
Bant
was
deck
at.
Gerard is facing? We're gonna see the Bant deck Gerard is
One
facing.
of the Bant decks, I believe. All right, well we got them shuffling up, so they'll be on in just a moment. But one of the Bant decks I think was main decking a Deep Fiend and was going less on the Dramoka's commands, which is a change I actually personally like. But
Okay, I watched this guy play a little bit when I was on break. I didn't see anything outside of the box in his deck.
did he have the commands in the main? You think?
I think so.
Okay.
No, actually, yeah. His
He
deck
might have
list
been
is
the one
the
that did
exact
it.
same as Ben Feinger's.
Okay.
I think actually
They're a
all
crew?
the top 4 guys
They're a crew?
that double drew were a crew.
Double Drew crew.
So it must be pretty nice.
Must be nice. I don't know that feeling, but
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like
You're like an online champion.
you can't draw online.
Yeah, there's no draws on Moto.
I got my first
but
draw
you're
on
an online
Moto
champion.
this weekend.
You can't actually draw in a complete
No, I
match.
got a
How do you get
draw.
How do you get a match draw?
I got my opponent attacked me for exactly lethal as their clock went to exactly 0, and it happened at the exact same time.
You guys got a draw?
And it got a draw.
Oh my
It was
god,
weird.
never heard of that.
Yeah,
That's
it was
insane.
insane.
Yeah, I've gotten like game draws on Moto. Like I price a progress my opponent when we
Sure,
were like,
but no, this was
yeah.
an actual draw. I said,
God.
good game, it's a draw, no winner.
That I've never been. You should have took a screenshot.
I took a screenshot.
Oh, you have to
Oh,
show
you
me
know
this
I took a
later.
screenshot.
I gotta watch this later. I didn't even know
I
that was
actually,
possible.
it was on the stream recap.
Oh my
it was
God.
insane. Yeah, I lost it.
I've drawn, like Alex was saying, when like my opponent
You
cast
have
a
a thing.
flame rift,
Yeah.
Sure.
and he was at 7 and I was at 4. I was like, all right, bolt you.
Yeah, like
GG.
I've been in games before on Moto.
And then you go to a fourth game.
Yeah,
right?
you go to a fourth
Yeah.
game.
See,
yeah.
this one was because he timed out, but I
Yeah.
took lethal damage.
I was
so.
playing. I was playing in a legacy league, and I was borrowing a burn deck before I had Storm built on there. And I like Price of Progress, my Blue-Ray Delver opponent. I had out a Barbarian Ring, and they had out like a something else, and we both died. And then it's like game 4. I've
All
done
right,
that.
here we go. Okay, I do recognize Zachary.
Zach, yeah, he can't be too happy with this top 8 matchup. And
This is a tough matchup,
Yeah,
and he's got to know it.
And he's facing down a great opponent.
For sure.
Gerard, freshly back after his short suspension and ready to go.
Yeah, Zach's hand looks pretty good. Looks like they're both keeping. Just making sure everything is kosher here. Well, Zach's already in the tank here about whether to keep.
I want to say Zach has some inclination on what Gerard's on.
The draw was sort of fire nice. Like you draw your last card in your deck, and at the same time you ping them for 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Yep. Both keep. See if Gerard can lead off with. Jace, not a bad turn 2 play.
Yeah, it's great on the play when the Bank Company deck doesn't have any creatures on the floor.
Oh, for sure.
Zach is doing some math here.
Yeah, I think he's debating
I
whether or
think
not
we're
to lead
short
with the
on
Spirit.
green source.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try to win in the air here. He's got a Spell Queller. I think that's his route to victory because
I see an
Gerard
Alex
is
as
tough.
well.
He does. I mean, he has the one Voldaren. The
Yeah.
Voldaren is great, obviously, but other than that, he doesn't have flyers.
He's got
He
the
has the Spirit.
spirits.
The Spirit
yeah,
comes
the
out,
Spirit's
you're right.
really good against the selfless
Oh
spirit.
that's great.
Fabiano gets suspended for. Fabiano got suspended a while ago. It was during a Philadelphia Open. It was over a sleeve controversy. We're not going to get too far into that. That's not fair to talk about Gerard right now. But there's lots of Reddit threads about it. You can go look it up.
All right, Gerard's in the process of looting and puts a prized amalgam in the graveyard, which is a great place to have it. And it looks like we're going. Oh, Relentless Dead for 1. Is that what that was?
No, it's
Not Dark Salvation.
Oh, Dark Salvation. That's what
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and a Gerard Fabiano token. How do you get those? Was he a platinum?
Yeah,
pro? Is that
he
what
was.
happens?
He was for a while. You'd
Okay.
look at the old school with the beanie.
Yep.
Betcher was
Wow.
playing Fabiano for a PTM. I would have snapped take Fabiano. Not close.
Three mana up, and Zach's got nothing to do.
Well,
Yeah.
I see the Queller in his hand, but
I wonder
Yeah.
why we would ever pass with nothing on turn 3.
yeah, Gerard's probably like, wow, I just got this game in the bag.
Yeah, it's just over
Nothing
now.
to do on turn
Jace
3.
uncontested, got a 2/2 zombie. Just can't lose at this point.
Amalgam in the yard, everything's
Like,
Alright.
Here's another deck list from the last round. This guy did not win.
Alright. It's Fabiano. There's Zach Keen.
this is
There's
Well, this
Fabiano.
is- okay. All right, we're just taking a look at their decks.
Alright, so spiciness out of... God, his handwriting's awful. Spiciness out of Zach Keen's deck list. Noose Constrictor in the sideboard. Subjugator Archangel. Tameo in the sideboard. Summary Dismissal in the sideboard.
So Gerard has Transgresses in the main.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to fire one of those off and see an Archangel Avacyn, 2 Jace, and a
Sylvan
Sylvan Advocate
Advocate.
as well as a Yav Coast.
I think it looks like Gerard ran his zombie into the spell queller.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't being serious, Gerard. I didn't mean he actually didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
But I guess
No,
it's
I
fine.
think that Zach just flashed it in a turn with nothing under
Well,
it.
no, the zombie that
something under
Fabiano
it?
had was gone from the Dark Salvation.
Oh, okay, the 2. Yeah, sure. Make him
Yeah.
have it. I mean,
I mean, I guess it's better to eat the 2/2 than to actually get something spell colored because you don't have that many removal spells in this.
yeah,
deck.
there are not very many, actually. He has the 4 Grasp and the Voldaren Pariah on the
Yeah.
flip and 2 Ruinous Path.
Which
Yeah.
is backbreaking against the Bank Company.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, he's playing the Relentless Dead version, so...
Yeah, Zach's on the Selfless Spirit Archangel Avacyn Bant list here. That's if you wanted to know what flavor of Bant we have here.
Yeah, I mean, just already from where we're at right now, this just feels so tough for Zach to come out on top of this
Yeah.
matchup. Like, if Gerard just even gets any more value out of his graveyard.
He's got the Haunted Dead and the Prized Amalgam in the graveyard already.
Yep.
So, like, just
Yeah, now
discarding
just-
2 cards is just, backbreaking at this point. If we have the Pariah in hand,
Oh, that's a beating.
Oh,
You have to
absolutely.
Cast that off the Jace.
Off the madness, yeah.
Yep.
We wouldn't flip Jace at that point, which is kind of
You
good.
wouldn't
No,
mention
yeah,
that thing that I brought
You
up.
only
Yeah.
have 4 cards.
Yeah, if you have 5 cards in your graveyard when you activate Jace to Madness, it will flip. However,
But
if the
there's
5th
4.
card would be a Madness card, it will not go to the graveyard. That is a replacement effect. It will throw it in exile and throw a Madness trigger onto the
that's
stack.
that's a pretty cool little synergy there. No, I guess we won't be dealing with that for too long. Jace is
Yeah.
quickly rotating.
Although
He makes
that
it
other
modern, maybe.
Crypt Breaker will still be in.
Yep.
So,
So-
we'll Wharf Infiltrator.
Yep. So you still have some instant speed, some non-discarding in your main phase, but yeah, we're not going to have the interaction of flip walkers of that.
All right, I didn't quite see what. Oh, I didn't see what he discarded, but Jace is flipping off this loot. And we may just start ticking up on the flyer. I don't think he has anything great to flash back just yet.
The Dark Salvation is the only card I think in the graveyard.
Here comes a Crypt Breaker.
Yeah, it's okay,
not-
but it's not great
Yeah,
here.
we
you know?
need what? 7 mana to kill the Spell Queller?
Yeah, but the Crypt Breaker is going to provide it. Oh wow, 2. So he's gonna. Does he have a 3rd zombie to follow up here? So he gets to start drawing cards here.
Yeah.
We're aware that cards flip, guys. We're talking about discarding cards, causing them to flip, like with Jace. Like I guess you could have that 2/1 that transfers to a 3/2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that won't matter with.
All right, so Gerard decides to tick up on the Queller, being able to chump block the Advocate if he so chooses, though I don't think he would here.
Fabiano rocking any foils today. Oh my god.
All right, so Zach is just going to go ahead and deploy 2 more threats, but has, I mean, he may, yeah, no attacks. Gerard gets to draw and lose 1. And now these Relentless Deads are just going to be a nightmare, that they can just chump block and get bought back.
Yeah. And they attack with Menace as well.
And they attack with Menace as well, yeah. And now Gerard can just start getting the card advantage on, discarding the Crypt Breaker, and just using some of his graveyard synergy to great effect.
Yeah, like discarding 2 cards to the Crypt Breakers.
How many,
and then chump blocking and then drawing a card is still fantastic.
Oh, that's great. How many Avacins was Zachary on? Did he just have the 1 or does he have 2?
Avacyn, or
2.
Avacyn in his list here. We have 2 Archangel Avacyn.
Okay, so he has a second one. I feel like that's one way he could just clean up the ground a little bit.
Yeah, if he finds an Archangel Avacyn.
Because he has the
great.
Spirit already, but it's still like, you know, he can just, Gerard can recur so much value regardless.
Yeah.
And like, you can't really attack with the Selfless Spirit at this point either because he's got the Haunted Dead in the
Exactly,
graveyard.
yep. I could see Gerard just needing to protect his Jace here and just maybe winning that way. Like, Gerard's just going to win incidentally, it feels like. He's just going to take control of the game and just be able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, the fact that he's just got so much value out of drawing an extra card every turn.
Yeah, it's
by just tapping his creatures on a stalled board state.
Yeah, he's definitely going to town here.
Whereas Zachary has to tap 3 mana to activate his Dustwatch Recruiter. So he's going to fall behind and not being able to cast his spells, where Gerard's going to be able to do whatever he wants with his mana every turn.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a great situation where it explains why Tireless Tracker is such a good card, because you're not really giving up anything in exchange for getting those, and that's what Gerard's doing. He's giving up like 1 point of life to get an extra card, which is so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're just ticking up on the Spell Queller again, and I feel like Gerard might have a Voldaren Pry or cast the Haunted Dead or something, the way that he had decided to tap both of his Crypt Breakers.
Yeah, without activating the discard ability on the Crypt Breakers, you're not adding to the board state, which you could totally be doing.
Yep.
And you could get it to the point where you can...
Oh, does he play Mindbender? I guess that guy doesn't have Flash.
He play Elder. They either play Elder Deep Fiend or Mindbender usually, one of the two.
Looks like his version didn't decide to.
He didn't play either of those. Nothing to really go over the top.
Yeah, he's just really on this way more zombie-centric.
He's got Mindbender in the sideboard.
Okay.
And Dragonlord Silumgar.
Yeah, that's a spicy one.
Silumgar's backbreaking over the board.
Yeah, I just feel like Gerard must have something here. I can't quite see his hand.
Yeah.
But the way that he tapped both the Crypt Breakers just makes me think that he's got
Yeah,
something.
again, because like if you were to add 2 zombies to the floor,
It's the same
untap,
thing, yeah.
Add 2 zombies to the floor, you could have 6 total. And it's just like Heritage Shrewd, where the more you have on the floor, the better everything goes for you.
Yep, so Zach is flipping his Duskwatch Recruiter in the upkeep after Gerard had not played a spell.
Did he activate it with the flip on the stack? Is
think
that what
that
happened?
I think he just did it in his main phase.
Oh, I think he might have put the card into his hand before revealing it to Gerard. That might be the discrepancy here.
Okay, so if we have a situation where he put the card into his hand without revealing it to Gerard, that's
becomes a
that's
falsies,
so yeah. Well, the first thing we're gonna ask here is does Zach have an empty hand? Because if the answer is Zach does not have an empty hand, then this is going to fit our fit our upgrade policy for hidden card error, in which Gerard will look at Zach's hand, choose a card, and that card will be reshuffled in. And then if Zach did go into an empty hand, he's just going to reveal the card, and then we'll be moving on.
Yeah, it looks like he does have at least one other card in hand.
Yeah. So this will
Though
not
I
be
think
going.
Gerard may know the card, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. The way that
Whether Gerard knew the card is irrelevant. We can't go off of previous knowledge while we're doing that. Like if someone did that, and I think they're going to be getting a judge involved here.
Yeah, it looks like the floor judge is going to grab the head judge right now.
He clearly pointed out the flip trigger, then activated, then revealed. He didn't actually do the flip until after he drew, but he announced his trigger. Okay.
Okay, so we're on the whether it should flip or not.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing it too. If he revealed Nissa.
Trigger on the desk watch.
Okay, miss trigger on Dusk Watch.
Okay, so it wasn't what I had mentioned.
Okay.
Disregard the non-reveal. Well, yeah, we're getting the judge. Should be a pretty quick resolution on this one.
So did Gerard appeal? Okay, Gerard appealed. Okay. He drew for turn without flipping.
So yeah, it gets to become Gerard's choice, right? And Gerard
What'll happen is if he drew without flipping, if he activated it in his upkeep and then drew without it actually flipping and didn't actually announce the trigger, both sides of Duskwatch Recruiter flipping back is a generally non-detrimental trigger. So what's okay? Yeah.
All right,
so
we're gonna bring it back.
yeah,
to
we're
us
gonna go back to us during this appeal. We're not gonna be showing how that went. We'll tell you how it went though. But in a situation like this, both sides of Duskwatch Recruiter is considered a generally non-detrimental trigger, so it will be Gerard's choice of whether or not he would like to place that flip onto the stack now or at the beginning of the next step.
I would guess he wouldn't.
Yep. So it's going to be whether Gerard wants it to flip over into a 3/3 that makes things cost less, or the 2/2 that searches.
Yep.
Someone in the chat said he announced the trigger,
but didn't actually actively flip it.
So if he announced
it,
and then didn't actually resolve it, he's just going to get a GRV and it'll flip, which could have been the floor judge's ruling.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it seemed like it was going to be. I saw a few of those things happen recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interested to see here. So I guess the questions we have is: did he announce the trigger? Did he reveal it? And at what point should we be flipping it? So
Head judge on scene.
Head judge is up there dealing with this right now.
Yep, I think it'll be resolved pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's a pretty minor infraction. And,
if I were to guess, it's going to be
harmless.
It's going to be GRV for a GRV for Zach for announcing his trigger and not resolving it.
Okay.
And then they're going to leave it flipped as he did announce his trigger, and then if he revealed the Nissa, it should be in his hand. That's based on information that the chat says. I don't know exactly how it went down.
Yeah, it's hard for us to
we don't
catch
have
every little thing.
Yeah.
It's a quite a small screen, but
yeah, there is no possibility of this being a game loss.
Absolutely not.
That's
is
not
so
going to be
minor,
happening now. I think if he actually didn't reveal, there could be a situation in which it'll be like a Thoughtseize or something. But yes, if he didn't actually reveal, at one point this could have been a game loss. This actually happened at the Pro Tour when Pat Chapin plus Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, and didn't reveal. That's a game loss under the old policy. And Chapin tried to argue his way out of it, but at the end of the day, that's how it goes.
Yep.
You don't get special. Treatment because you were on coverage. It's treated the same way.
Yep.
Well, I'm a little sad for no magic action, but
yeah, I mean,
I'm sure we'll be back there in just a moment.
I personally find this stuff still exciting, although I haven't judged recently. I'm interested to see how this gets resolved. John Shannon is a veteran to magic judging and the magic community, so I'm sure if anyone up there can solve it, he can.
Yeah. No, I think we're pretty deep into a solid match actually. There's no Gerard seems like he's favored at this point, but
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, if I could change my prediction, I would
do something.
That was from a Tasigur activation, but whatever. Yeah, it could have been a Tasigur activation.
Upheld GRB warning because Zachary drew his card with Duskwatch trigger on the stack.
Yep. Okay. Just as I said.
Line proceeded with trigger and draw a card.
All right. So Zach got to flip his guy. He received a GRV warning, and he drew his card, and he still got his Nissa.
Yep,
so that's what we thought would happen.
And now Gerard gets to bring back the Haunted Dead, and as well as an Amalgam EOT.
Yep.
So that's why he was saving his mana.
Yep.
Now Gerard just has quite the board with a Jace quickly ticking up, and just now he can start drawing. Probably 2 cards per turn.
Yeah, he's got exactly 6 zombies on the floor.
Yeah, that's something.
I almost like throwing the Amalgam actually into the board.
Just start attacking with it.
Yeah.
I mean, now the Advocate's a 4/5 though, so it's a.
Oh, is it okay?
He hit 6 lands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Zachary should absolutely still be more careful, and he received his GRV, and that will be counted towards his GRVs for this tournament. But, you know, this is not a game loss or anything like that.
All right, Gerard's going to start with drawing a card here, using the Crypt Breaker's ability.
Yep.
Yeah, any...
Once he finds the Voldaren Pride, that's what's going to swing the game, I think.
Absolutely.
Though Zachary does have plenty of creatures to sack, but it's just still such a swing.
Yeah.
When all
Gerard
Gerard's
gets to go
creatures
sack Spirit, Haunted Dead, Prized Amalgam,
and they'll all just
get
come
them all
back. Exactly, yep.
And Gerard's going to discard a card by Crypt Breaker's activated
here we
ability.
go, yeah.
And there's
This
the
is
Pariah. Madness
Pariah.
trigger, it is in there.
Yeah,
And it gives you
we
a
get
free
2/2
zombie,
zombie on top of everything.
What's a GRV? GRV stands for Game Rule Violation. If you mistap for something, or if you announce a trigger, don't resolve it, or there's many other things like that, you can receive a GRV or Game Rule Violation. If you're more curious about that, go read up on the Infraction Procedure Guide of Magic the Gathering. It's a good read if you want to play competitively like these guys are doing. Everyone should be looking at that.
Sure, Gerard's going to go ahead and flip. Let's see what he decides to sack. Probably the token.
Haunted Dead, I can see Spirit
Huh.
Token. Crypt
Well,
Breaker.
I'm surprised he'd sacrifice the Crypt Breaker here.
So Gerard is not actually going to sacrifice his creatures yet. Well, no, Gerard has to sack the flip. Okay, so yeah, they don't sack at the same
I'm sort of
time.
surprised he didn't sack the Amalgam, because it'll come back
Yeah.
pretty freely, but...
Zach's going to loot with his with the trigger on the stack here.
Yep. Though it won't flip the Jace, right? I think he
No.
only has 2 or 3
No,
cards. in
just
the yard.
2.
3.
All right, so...
An interesting play he could have did if he really wanted to flip the Jace was sack and then activate the Jace. But
Yep.
I think he wanted to get more information before deciding what to sack.
And Gerard has not even used the
That's
Jace
a really
here, I don't
interesting
think.
discard.
The sack, right? Those were...
choices.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't Spirit and Amalgam.
Yeah, I think on both sides, actually. Zach choosing to sacrifice everything but the Nissa after discarding his 7th land. The last card in his hand is a Sylvan Advocate, so if he misses on the land, Nissa's just a 2/2.
Yep. And I'm not sure if Gerard used his Jace, but he presumably ticked up.
Oh,
on it.
there's the land. This is going to flip.
Yeah, I think this might just be too little too late.
Yeah.
Though. Gerard attacking for now 7 in the air, as well as just having evasive-ish threats with the Menace. And the recursiveness of the Prized Amalgam, it just seems like...
They said he did not sack the Amalgam as he wanted to keep it so he could draw a card at the end of turn with Crypt Breaker's ability.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is the
And I see not sacking the
Voldaren's...
Spirit because
No,
of the flyer.
he's gonna
He's got the
tap
token.
the zombie token, the Relentless Dead, and the other guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it looks like Zach picked up a
Yeah,
Dramoka's
very
command.
very good one. Imagine Dragons. That's very true.
Dramoka's command would be able to trade with the Abolisher of Bloodlines.
That thing's 6'5". That thing's
Yeah,
large.
he'd have to 2-for-1 himself, but he would be able to trade
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see attacking into the board, and then if he makes bad blocks...
Okay, guys, just want to remind you that if you guys like what you were watching, remember to throw a follow. We have lots of large tournaments here, as well as our weekly ward on every Wednesday. And you guys can check that out. We can see great players like Gerard, Zach, as well as Kevin Jones and 3-time GP Top 8 competitor Dan Ward. So you guys can check us out here. Max Mitchell, Alex Stratton, and Josh Perigine in the booth. You know, throw us a follow and visit us on kerwinsgamestore.com for our card selection and our article selection.
Yep, and it looks like Zach's going just a bunch of Dramoka's commands, trying to clean up the board a little bit after he'd flipped his Jace. And it will trade with that Advocate, because it already has some damage on it.
We fought down Crypt Breaker.
We fought down the Crypt Breaker first. Gerard
Making
responded
it
by
5/6.
drawing a card. And then he'll fight with a 6/7, and it's
6/7 versus
still
the
going.
6/5.
But it already has it has the damage on it. So I'm not sure what just happened. It looked like did he fight down a different creature?
I'm not sure.
I thought that he fought and then fought again, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he minus the Jace and the Dramoka's command in the exile pile.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was a
I don't see
miscommunication, or
Yeah, I don't see any other creatures.
He fought with the other Advocate, they said.
he fought.
It says someone said he messed up. What happened
Well,
here?
I think that he fought that one on the Crypt Breaker, but put the counter here and then counter fight. But
Yeah.
when we don't have their audio, it's hard for us to exactly.
I mean, the
determine.
players seem to be proceeding normally, but the no one seems to be appealing anything, and that big thing is still in there. So
Yeah, Zach just got like kind of a look on his face, like he maybe realized he might. have made a
yeah, I
mistake.
think Zach definitely made a mistake of some sort. I don't know if it would have actually mattered here, but
Fairly certain we should. Okay, he's attacking with the Spirit Token.
okay.
Yep. So we take care of the Nissa.
I don't like.
And we
allows
take
that
care of the
attack
Jace.
that
Yep.
much.
Well, it's free to get it.
It's
back.
free because if he blocks, the guys die from his creatures die because they have damage marked on them from the commands.
No, I think the commands are on his main.
Oh,
phase.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like, I guess I don't like the block because if he blocks, he gets Relentless Dead back to the hand and then returns Crypt Breakers.
Yeah.
Oh, Gerard plussed on the Advocate that he Dromoka's commanded on.
Oh, wow, and he
That's
forgot.
when he forgot. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, well, I think that this game was already heavily favoring Gerard, but after
Yeah.
a mistake like that,
Yeah,
it's tough.
I think
to come back
Zach's
from.
almost at conceding, but picks up his cards and then doesn't pick them all up yet. All right, so Zach will take a draw
He'll
step.
take a draw step. It is
It's
company, but
company.
it's not going to be good enough here.
I don't even know if he's going to cast this. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Gerard's probably seen what he's playing. They don't have access to deck lists, I don't believe, but it's not really giving up too much.
Yeah.
Info. All right, now Gerard just basically has to make sure not to do anything to get himself a game loss, and should be game 1 in the books. All right, and he's even going to go ahead and grasp, and then plus so that the thing has no power.
Oh, Grasp minus.
Oh, grasp minus grasp. Never mind. And
Yeah.
company in response.
Tracker,
He has the
Queller,
color.
Tracker, Queller, Tracker? Yeah.
Quell the second half of the Grasp.
Yep, but it's just still.
Just too little.
It's such an uphill battle for him.
Yeah. So it's got -4/-4 on it
It does
already.
have -4/-4
Yeah.
on it. Yep. So
Here comes the... What's the name of the flip side of that?
I'm not sure the name.
Abolisher of Bloodline.
Okay.
Abolisher of Bloodlines. Okay, perfect.
Prize Amalgam, easy attacks here.
Yep. Zach's gonna go ahead and take 9 here, and probably just check this draw step and maybe pack it in for the next game.
Well, he's got a lot of live draws now that he's got Tracker on the floor. Even a land is a live draw.
Sure. At this point, though, it's really tough to come back from
All
that.
right, so I'm gonna just answer this thing real quick here in the chat. Attacking with Nissa and then declaring another creature in the combat step. This is what we call out of order sequencing in Magic the Gathering. Like if you block, you're allowed to like block and then animate a Mutavault and block again. While technically not like written in the rules to that, the players are allowed to take shortcuts like this. So when Gerard went, I'll attack your Nissa, and Zach just put his Nissa in the graveyard without saying anything to Gerard. Gerard still doesn't have to be like done with his attacks yet. So I think that's what they're trying to say in the chat.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a shortcut.
Yeah, like you know, they said like we're playing kitchen table Magic. It's not a kitchen table Magic per se, but you know.
So, so what do you like for sideboarding here?
You ready to get in there?
Oof. Bank Company.
They don't have much to bring in here, I don't think. Some,
Well, yeah, no, Tragic Arrogance is probably good.
I think it's fun. It's just that the value is
Ugly Ties
still
command,
retained.
I think is great too.
It's fun, yeah.
Because you can catch the Voldaren Pariah no matter where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Gerard with a spicy one. He has the Rise from the Grave in the sideboards too. I don't think it
Yeah.
comes in here, but I just like that card.
Deck and Stone's probably fantastic.
Deck and Stone's definitely good. So I think Gerard will be bringing in the Collective Brutalities and probably the Ruinous Path.
I don't know what you're saying, no dude, about Gon.
Maybe the Ultimate Price.
You know, if you disagree with me and you disagree with the head judge's ruling, there's nothing I can tell you. That's the way they're playing this match. I'm sorry that you feel that way.
So they're just finishing up the sideboarding here.
This is not kitchen table Magic. This is the highest level of Magic you can get besides day 2 of a Grand Prix and a Pro Tour.
Yep.
This is competitive rel, but it's, you know, winning in for a Pro Tour.
I think the lack of Dromoka's commands is actually going to be huge in this matchup.
Oh, was he not playing any?
2.
He has 2. Okay. I don't love that card. I just think that this matchup's unwinnable. I literally don't think that you. Okay, I just don't think you could ever win.
I think it's winnable, but you have to have a fairly aggressive draw.
I don't think it depends on your deck. I think it depends on Gerard having a dysfunctional deck or a dysfunctional hand.
I don't think any non Voldaren Pariah draw is fine.
Yeah, it's just still tough when Gerard's to start drawing the cards. I think it needs to be pretty dysfunctional for Gerard to lose this one. But it could certainly happen. A couple mulligans. But yeah, I'm sticking to my guns here. Blue, black, and 2. It's not a best out of 5, right? It's just
No.
okay. 2 out of 3.
Yeah, it's just best out of 3.
All right, looks like they're just about ready to pick up their opening 7s. Just going over the last sideboarding. The old shuffle cam.
Blocking his sideboard.
I'm blocking his sideboard. I'm blocking you.
That's fine. I'm alright with that.
I don't know what you guys are trying to say about Gerard for cheating or whatever. But,
That always just happens.
yeah.
Don't address it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't
they
even
all
address
do.
it. Don't
Not
feed the
even-
trolls is the
yeah,
expression.
feed the trolls.
Gotta pay the trolls toll.
Yeah, the tolls from Albany to Catskill, man, they get you.
I take 9W.
How much do you say, how much time do you add? Like, is the time added to money saved? Like,
Well, I
ratio
live
correct?
off of 9W, so
Okay,
it's literally
yeah.
right off of that. But
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not.
actually.
It's a
Maybe
scenic
add
drive.
20 minutes, I think.
15.
Yeah. Right.
Scenic. Very
That's not
scenic.
even-
Yeah,
That's not even
I'm up in
You're farther
Schenectady.
away.
I'm in Schenectady, so
So-
it's like a 35-minute drive for me. I just take the toll road.
For sure.
I take the tolls, but I'm really far away.
You're in like Amsterdam, right?
Further.
Where? Gloversville?
You're not in Cobleskill now,
No,
are
it's
you?
like south of that. I'm
Okay.
kind of Cobleskill.
Oh, you're in Cobleskill. Jeez, that's a long one. You can come over the mountain in the scenic way.
Yeah.
That's what I took that drive from SUNY Cobleskill to Kerwin's to play Wednesday Night Legacy a few times. It's like an hour drive.
That's from Cobleskill
From
to
Cobleskill to
Kerwin's?
Kerwin's, yep. I was really digging Legacy.
You drive fast.
I do drive fast. You've been in the car with me.
Yeah, you do drive.
Yeah.
All right, so they're checking out their sevens. Let's see if they. Well, looks like Zach took
going
a
back.
quick mulligan. I mean, there's definitely a combination of cards that he has to find. I
Yeah.
think he needs the flyers,
I think he needs a 2-drop.
and he definitely needs a 2-drop.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a 2-drop, I think the hand has to go back.
Yep.
Because if Gerard starts with a Crypt Breaker, like, we just fall behind really fast, really quick.
Yeah, the lack of early interaction, other than like even a Reflector Mage on 3, is a little bit too slow against that. So
I guess on
already-
the play, I think it's
It's
probably
okay, yeah.
But like, he still gets a discard effect out of the Crypt Breaker.
Exactly.
And if it's Haunted Dead or Prized Amalgam, like,
it's just
engine started already.
Yeah, I like this deck. I think I might give it a spin later tonight on Moto. It seems interesting.
What
Yeah, I don't know. I
What's
don't
our
know if I
viewer
like
count?
this deck better or if I like the
Viewers.
4-color deck, Jim's deck.
Jim's a very good player. I'm not. So
Still
he
like
said it was hard. He said it was
Yeah.
the hardest deck.
It's-
I'm not
like,
going to try
I
that.
told you about I played it at FNM and like
Sure.
the sequencing in that deck's
A lot of
insane.
sequence. Yeah.
Like it's just when to cast your spells, what spells
What?
to cast. Like there's so many things to it, but like I think having the ability to flashback Kozilek's Return is insane.
Mm-hmm.
468.
So you're
All right, here we
playing
go.
like the same engine minus the Crypt Breaker, but you're playing like the Gather the Pack engine in place of that.
Yep.
Zach on 6 cards on the play.
It looks
He
like
is
he's
deliberating the
scrying
He
right
is,
now.
yeah, he's deliberating the scry.
G Fabulous likes his 7.
Oh yeah.
Awaits his ability to play his turn 1 Crypt Breaker and knock this one out of the
He
park.
smells blood in the water. He's going to come out aggressive.
Zach's got the Sylvan Advocate.
Zach
Whether
does
or
have a
not-
2-drop. He's
Okay,
scribed to the
I
bottom.
think he's got a Plains in hand. He's got a Plains and a Yabi Mycos, so we're good.
Okay, he's got his requisite lands. He's going to probably lead with the Advocate here.
Yeah. The Duskwatch Recruiter's just not enough.
I mean, it's the same kind of thing. I would lead with Advocate here, but it looks like he's picking the Duskwatch Recruiter. I don't think there's much difference.
If Gerard Fabian has like a Relentless Ed here, like it's
yeah,
just
then
a
it's
straight
just a
trade.
little bit. I would rather have the 2-3
Whereas
here.
if it's like a 2-3,
All right, just grass.
Grass,
I guess
yeah.
he sniffed out the removal spell. I'd rather have that get grass.
Ben 2-0 over Row.
Whoa, and we have our first one.
Falcons
We were
in
all
the
wrong.
lead.
Yeah, Falcons in the
Oh my
lead.
god.
Yeah, so Ben ended up taking it 2-0 against
Yeah,
Ralph Patesh.
that's 1 point for the Falcon and 0 for
Yep.
Max and Alex.
So yeah, Ben Feingers, congrats to him.
Yeah, he
and
ta-
Gerard with all the removal spells here.
Ben queued at the RPTQ 2 ago, the one that was held at Pandemonium, so he is running hot.
Yeah, congrats to him.
Yeah, I'll
Hopefully he
go
does
up-
well at the Pro
I'll
Tour.
go up and visit him. I'm going to be seeing him at GP Providence in a few weeks. So
Oh, is GP Providence coming up?
yeah, it's in
Cool.
November, I think. So not
Cool,
too
maybe
long.
I'll make my way out there.
See, I think this is the kind of draw that Zach wants out of Gerard.
With just removal and no engine?
Yeah, right.
I
Especially
could-
if we're on tracker.
Yes. Now that he's finally stuck a thread, I could see Zach taking off with this.
Even
Gerard
just
can-
not. Even if Gerard removes this one as well, he's got Languish in his hand. I think.
Gerard does. Interesting. Oh, and we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, that's a nice
Well, that's
play.
a fantastic play right there.
Yeah,
That
kill
card
the
is
tracker.
sweet in this deck.
Dark
The fact
Salvation,
that
oh,
it
it's
counts the
great.
other zombies is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like the Dark Salvation a lot.
A Reflector Mage.
Paying 4 for 2 for an Advocate.
He
Yeah.
sacked
Cracked
his
the clue,
clue.
okay.
first
Yeah,
round, yeah.
cracked clue. Played the Advocate.
But you see, it's just like that. Gerard already has an engine online here.
See, I would have gone double Advocate. I think in that turn.
Not yeah. You don't need to crack a clue yet. Save it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right, and then we can untap, crack the clue,
And hit our 6th land. Hopefully.
Yeah,
and start
and
attacking.
hit the 6th land.
Yeah,
and
I
just
like that a little
Smash
better.
for 8 damage. Where like if Gerard like starts discarding cards to the Crypt Breaker, like we're just breaking through that.
Yeah, like Gerard can either play a zombie here or just start the discard outlet. Oh no, that's not a Crypt Breaker. Oh no, it is a Crypt Breaker. It looks like Haunted Dead has a very similar picture.
Yeah, they do have very
Okay.
similar arts.
So he just passes with 5 up.
Yeah,
that
so
can't.
we
That,
hit
that's
the
a
6th land.
Yeah. So this is a scary spot that Gerard may just actually have the Voldaren Pariah.
Yeah, I think we lead with the Reflector Mage.
Sure,
try to
and
sniff
force
out
the
anything.
force the issue.
You need 3 creatures to sack to flip the pariah, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But like
So
So you
he
can go
make the-
discard, make a zombie.
Yep.
yeah, discard and make the zombie, get the Pariah at instant speed.
Yeah.
Pariah's a big game here. That card is sweet when you get to cast it for 3 and get a zombie.
Well,
tacked along with it.
given you discard as part of the cost, the Madness Trigger will go on the stack first. So like if Zach had a Drogas Command, you can counter fight before the zombie hits, and he has an opportunity to flip.
Looks like he did discard something in response.
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch it.
Just
Languish.
It was the
Yeah.
language. Okay, because
Yeah.
at this point it's not very good against the Sylvan Advocate.
Yep. Advocate has gotten too large.
Yep. So
I don't like it at all in this matchup, to be honest.
It doesn't seem. I feel like
I feel
it
like
kills
your
all
engine's-
Gerard's.
Yeah, I feel like your engine's good enough that just boarding in like the Dragon Lord Silumgar and this ended Mindbenders
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah, I would like Mindbender for sure. See what Gerard has for this next turn. Unable to replay Crypt Breaker, but once he is, he'll be able to start finally drawing cards. But this is a lot of pressure. As you had mentioned, if Zach had led with the double Advocate, he would be really pressuring Gerard.
Yeah, rather
Now-
than a 4-point attack, we
He'd be
would have an
attacking for
8-point
8.
attack right now, and he would be at 12 rather than 16.
Ralph lost Chris Pakula. Benjamin Feingersh defeated him to was a
Falcon
quick
had the
quick
read.
match.
quick match.
Falcon had the read.
Falcon had the read.
Falcon did. I mean, that I could have saw that one going.
Daddy
either
got
way.
his
They're both
juice.
so good.
Looks like Gerard is in the tank about what to do here.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
he just
like-
passed with the 5 up, so he must have some kind of removal spell with no discard outlet. Alright, this is an attack for 10, so over half of Gerard's life total.
Yeah, I don't think we can not block here.
I think he's got something here, I'm just not quite sure what. He's already used 2 Grasp of Darknesses, right?
Yes.
So he doesn't have too much more instant speed interaction, just 2 more grasps, and
He's got ultimate prices.
He has
Why
one
just
ultimate
takes
price.
it to the dome.
Yeah, this
this
is
takes
like
10. Okay, maybe his hand is just very poor.
I think this is just how Zach wants this
we
game
don't
to go.
We don't ever discard the language if our hand's this poor, though.
Well, the problem is it doesn't do anything against the 4/5s.
Yeah, well, we could have cast it on the turn when it was just a 2-3 still.
Yeah, would have killed our own guys, but I hear you. Yeah,
If
Zach
our
hasn't even
hand's
had it.
this poor, then like,
I think that Gerard maybe have been really banking on that, the Crypt Breaker.
yeah.
Because like you mentioned, he didn't have that out of the gate start this time. He had a little
Yeah.
bit more interaction, and I think that he actually wants to do more of his gold fishing in this matchup.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
drawing the cards and making his engine, but...
There's another Crypt Breaker.
Okay,
Charge
this
is
is...
6 though.
Was that, Wait, how did Gerard get... Oh, okay, it's the Crypt Breaker. I swear it looks exactly like the Haunted Dead every time I see
Yeah.
it coming. I was like, how did he get that for 1 minute?
Zach just untaps and goes right back to combat.
Okay, so we're gonna chump blocks all around and then draw a card in response before damage. Looks like all of his creatures will be eaten.
Gerard's gonna go in the tank before actual damage after his draw. I don't know what he could have here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. He doesn't have a discard outlet after tapping the Crypt Breaker, so...
Quick and Languish, get there.
Okay, we got an ultimate
Price.
price before damage with the
Spell
Queller
Queller.
to gobble it up. Yeah, it looks like we may be going to game 3 here. With Gerard with no board and Zach presenting far more than lethal.
Languish off the top would be great.
It'd be okay, we would still be left with 2 4/5s.
No, because the
Oh, 1
ultimate
4/5.
price.
1
Yeah, the
4/5.
ultimate price
Okay.
comes off and kills one
Yeah,
of them.
that is still Gerard at 1, but you're right.
It's staring down 1 threat and 1 card in hand. I think I'm okay with that. It's still rough spot, but I think that's what we're drawing to our outs right now.
Yep, sure.
Like Haunted Dead's not enough.
Definitely not.
Well, I guess Haunted Dead's enough to like let you live another turn.
It lets you live another turn, but what are you drawing to at that point?
Languish again.
But then, no, because then you're just dead, you need a creature too.
Yeah, we can go Languish, Ultimate Price. Yeah,
Okay, he
Ultimate
has the Languish.
Languish, Ultimate Price, the Advocate, and then we'd have to drop another creature.
Yep.
Or we have to have another Ultimate Price.
He has a grasp, I think.
Oh,
wow.
there we go.
All right.
It's a -2/-2.
All right, we got him.
All right, let's see if Zach only has a selfless spirit.
And a land.
That is a 3-turn clock. Gerard is going to have to answer it. He has the
Dark
Haunted Dead in hand now.
Salvation.
Yeah.
Dark Salvation for $1 billion.
No, wasn't that Collective Brutality or was that
That was
Salvation?
collective
Collective
brutality.
Yeah.
Jason Relentless Dead.
That's a pretty good way to read.
That Jace can flip and hit the Selfless Spirit.
Yeah, and we have a Haunted Dead in the yard, so at some point when Gerard gets an extra card, he'll be able to just make a very good blocker.
Zach definitely has a land in his hand. I don't know if he drew another brick or if he...
Yeah, I didn't see his draw for turn. It looks
I
like
think it
2
was-
Prairie
Yeah,
Streams.
I think he bricked again.
This would be quite the comeback.
Yeah.
I guess you found the line with the languish
The
there.
languish was definitely correct.
Because he
Falcons
needs-
running hot in the
Falcons
finals.
running
Let's
hot.
go.
I think we all took Gerard, didn't we?
We all took Gerard, but that was
Yeah.
a pretty good
Yeah,
call
it
on
was
how to
good.
get back
I
into
agree.
it. I was calling
I
Gerard
saw
out.
when he was talking about it. I saw the line, but I'm like, geez, yeah, I'm happy he was able to pull that off.
All right, so Gerard's getting aggro here. He does have to kill him. It's not
Yeah,
that
you
guy's
can't
much of a
block
blocker,
the
so yeah.
2/1. We can
All right,
Jace
we got
flip.
5 mana Voldaire Emperor, I think. It's a good blocker. Oh no, Mind Bending.
Extended
Mindbender.
Okay, so I think
gonna
he's
look
gonna
at
just
the 2
see-
Prairie Streams.
Yeah, he's just gonna see
Yeah.
2 lands.
But like we've got Jace flip plus on the Selfish Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Jace Flip Plus.
And we
Yep.
can pay a mana to get the Relentless Dead back to our hand.
We can. Is that right when it dies, or can you do that anytime?
That's when it dies.
So he did pay it
Yep.
because it's
like
a
he's
cast
paying
trigger.
right
So
now.
yeah, he's
Yep.
stacked. Yep. He didn't miss anything.
We didn't. We don't know any updates on Jim Davis's match yet. We
Once
can touch on
updates
that.
come in, we
Yep,
will.
we will tell
we'll
you.
inform.
All we know as of right now is 2-0 Mr. Ben Feingersh over Ralph Patesh.
Yep. And Gerard's
we're
going to
just gonna-
discard the Relentless Dead plus on the Selfless
Selfless
Spirit, and
Spirit.
now Zach has virtually nothing to the 5/5.
And he bricks again.
Oh, this has got to be a frustrating spot.
Yeah.
To be top decking the lands in a game
We
you
still have a
felt
lot
like
of
you were.
life total, which is
Yeah.
good.
We do, but it's gonna be dwindled very quickly from this 5/5, and now the engine gets to start just chugging along.
I
here.
can't imagine Zach's very happy at
If
the
we land a
moment.
Liliana here, it's probably.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh,
bad. That's a
yeah.
nightmare.
I think that's. I think,
Spirit just dies. Jace just gets
Yeah.
to do whatever.
and we're gonna have access to Dark Salvation flashback with Jace.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
Grasp.
We plus Jace, I think, one more time. I think we want to full value this out.
I think the only way I think the only way Zach is going to be winning this game is he's going to
Good
have to
companies.
rip in a company and then end step company into like 2 flyers.
Some good companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is quite a comeback from Gerard. I had written him off 2 turns ago, and now it looks like this game has been in his control the whole time. So
I think if we company into like Reflector Mage, Spell Queller.
yeah, if
That's
he has
really
a
good.
company, is definitely a live draw.
What are we minus?
flashing
Oh,
back on.
Collective Brutality?
Yeah, he's gonna make him lose 2 and check his hand out, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're going to see that forest that Zach drew for turn, and we're going to go back up to 5.
Yeah, going back up to
Dress.
5 is nice too.
Yeah, it means that Spell Queller plus Selfless Spirit won't kill you.
Yep. And he still gets to keep the Jace around and reload with the Crypt Breaker.
There's the
so-
Crypt Breaker. So we should have Gerard at 5 here.
And another land. This is.
Yeah, that's
It's a tough way to go out
1,
here.
2. That's 4 in a row for Zach. Double Prairie Stream, Forest, and now
From a
Candy
great board
Vista.
to this,
Yeah,
out of just nowhere. Yeah, now, Gerard just needs to find out the quickest way to finish this game out. And
Zach knows it. He knows that.
yep, so we're actually going to go minus to try to find ourselves a creature.
There's a
We
Haunted
know
Dead.
that there's a couple Haunted Deads.
There's
He may just
another
be looking
Jace.
for.
He's probably just getting back like Relentless did a Crypt Breaker, I think, with this.
Yep, I would think so.
And it just helps the draw card engine.
Yep.
I think you got the Haunted Dead?
Yep. And it's a 2-turn clock for
I guess if
Gerard
his
here.
draw was a zombie, the Haunted Dead's great.
Yep, now, I think he'll just plus here.
I think I like attacking first.
All right, we're actually going to flash back. He might target something before the attack, in case there's any shenanigans.
Okay. Target like Grasp of Darkness.
I don't know what he targeted, but he
Attack
targeted
for
something.
6.
I think he may have done what you said and just
Yeah, target the Grasp.
the play that Gerard can make there is he targets Grasp, and even if Zach has a company at end step, it's
all right.
he
Well,
just does it.
just like that, Gerard
Yeah,
came
that's-
from super far
Yeah,
behind to winning.
that's
and
5 in a row. He pulled all 5 out. Those were his 5 draw steps, and sure enough, there's the gas he wanted.
Oh,
so
there's the Subjugate Angel.
yeah, we've all been there. It's a tough spot for
Yeah.
Zach, but congrats to Gerard. That was very well
All
played.
right, so that'd be a wash. So the Falcon is still leading with 1 point.
You're leading. I think that it has to come down to.
Yeah, if you wanna get
Let's see about other matches.
See if we can get a matchup.
Yeah, get matches.
I would think that some of these are still going on.
Yeah.
We can get Fabiano in the booth if nothing else is happening, but yeah, see if we can get something else happening.
Everybody likes Magic.
Yep. So we still have 2 more matches. We
got
have
the Bant Company Mirror.
the Bant Company Mirror, and then we have Jim Davis versus Bant.
Yeah, his opponent is. You got the standings.
Yeah, I
over
got
there,
the
right?
list here in the standings.
His opponent was Michael Good.
Yep, so Jim Davis versus Michael Good. Let me pull the list on those. There's Mike Good, and do we have Jim's list?
We had looked at Jim's list previously, so I think we should have it
It
down
should
here.
No, it's right here. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
So
see
we got
the paper.
yeah.
Which
there's-
one? This one?
No, that one.
This one?
Michael Good is playing Bant with mainboard Declaration and Stone.
Okay, I actually like that.
He has 2 Nissa Vastwood Seer mains, 3 Jace's main.
I think I can only tie you because we have the same kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I beat him.
You can.
You can,
So
so a
if,
different kicker.
yeah, if our last match we picked wrong,
Yeah.
and Stratton I think can tie.
Fabio will be down.
Fabiano's coming down.
Okay.
Are we getting another match on or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
We're
I'll
gonna
go.
get Fabio down.
Yeah, why don't
I'll-
you
I'll
go do
hop
some
out.
floor scouting?
Yeah, I'll hop
And,
out. And see
yeah,
what
all right,
the
we're gonna
floor
get the
looks
word from the floor while Fabiano comes down. Gonna get a quick interview with him. A quick congratulations to
Yep.
him. Yeah, it's tough to see Zach draw like that at the end. It's super frustrating.
Yeah,
but-
I we've all been there.
Yeah, regardless, I think the matchup is heavily in Gerard's favor, but
Yeah.
that last sequence of plays, the languish into the brutality, that was
Yeah.
brutal.
I guess I think what's even more rough about this is Zach Keen's a decent friend of mine. I think Zach has already won a PVTQ for the season, so by
Okay.
winning this, he just
He doesn't. He gets the wash.
Yeah,
he doesn't even
he
get
gets
the
the
free
wash.
invite.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he still spent all his time grinding.
Mm-hmm. Is he from around here?
Zach
Is it
Zach's from
farther out?
Amherst.
Okay, so not too far. We got a
Yeah,
couple hours.
whenever I go out and visit Noah Walker, I see Zach, Chris Turnbull, Ian Barber. That whole
Yeah,
group of
I
guys.
recognize all
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah, it's a good group. All younger kids that are my age that are much better at Magic than I am,
Gotcha.
but like using my car.
Yep. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to give you a quick from the floor update. We don't have the Brian David Marshall tech of the floor cam, but
Yeah.
Josh does a good out of breath impersonation once he comes back. down.
Yeah. See if Gerard actually wants to come down here into the booth. If not, Josh will relay our message here, and we will get you back to our matches, and hopefully see if we can get you guys some updates.
Yeah, maybe we can get a game 3 on if any of them go
Yeah,
long.
I think that band
it
will
may be
definitely go to game 3.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not game 3, but it'll definitely be a long one.
Those do go long, yeah. Unless it's either one player runs away with it or the games
Yeah,
get super
if it's
random.
going to game 3, I don't think it's gotten there yet.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because those 2 games were relatively quick.
What kind of decks do we use? I played Abzan Planeswalkers in the LCQ yesterday. I haven't really been focusing on Standard too much, though.
I like Bant Company, but yeah, Standard's kind of dull to me right now. It's dwindling down,
Yeah, there's no more like the modern this season is modern PBTQs and
Yep.
sealed PBTQs, and I think the next time I'm gonna be focusing on Standard is probably gonna be the
After Kaladesh, probably.
Yeah, after Kaladesh at Providence, because the WMCQ is modern also
Very
down
cool,
in
yeah.
2 hours south of us, down in Nanuet, New York.
Yeah, very cool. I may consider that as much as I hate modern.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to burn some people every now and
Yeah,
then.
I'm not a big modern aficionado myself. I much prefer we do not have modern and we do not have a reserve list and we can all play Legacy, but unfortunately that is not an option for multiple reasons. But I always like to be playing some Magic regardless of the format.
Yeah, for sure.
Abzan Walkers is very medium, right? It felt very medium. I felt the deck was very, very powerful. I think Zach Canner did a great job designing that deck and playing it. I really liked it a lot.
It's a little clunky though. Sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
it, the mana. I lost a lot of games to my mana base when I had all the answers in my hand but couldn't deploy them.
Yep.
I lost a lot of games where I had to send upon the Sinful in my hand and didn't have double white.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Would you call the deck mainly bad human creatures? There you
Come on,
go.
Gerard.
Get a Gerard in here.
Just come back and grab a seat here
Yeah.
if you like.
What's up, guys?
What's going on? Congrats.
Congrats, Gerard.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. I got the blue envelope as they're giving out at these
awesome.
RPTQs now.
Yeah.
So that
It's
game
crazy.
1 was pretty much all in your favor, but that game 2, were you working out that play to languish away Because we thought we couldn't see the languish and the brutality.
Well,
That was a great sequence.
I think at first I might have, like, it was tough because I had 2 languishes in my opening hand.
Yeah, you discarded 1, right, to
yeah, but like basically on turn 4, I had to decide if I wanted to just languish there or if I wanted to go Crypt Breaker and then Dark Salvation.
Yep.
And then I decided to go with the Crypt Breaker Dark Salvation, which I think might have been bad in hindsight.
Okay.
It was really tough.
Because then the advocates got out of control pretty quick.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it was tough for my opponent. I think he played well.
He drew a lot of lands towards the end.
Yeah, he drew 5 in a row at the end there.
If he somehow read me for a Lanquish,
sure,
then I would have lost because he would have just
not Queller, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, obviously Spell Queller is like super. Dude, I look so tired. I like didn't sleep. And I lost round 1 too.
Yeah. So you rattled him off.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's definitely tough. Spell Queller is obviously a great card, but in a scenario like that was like the biggest blowout.
Yep. Oh, it was insane. We didn't see from your hand that you had the brutality there, so that was just.
Yeah, and then
you cleaned up the board entirely.
And then at the end, I had to play like I think really differently. I had to like just throw in my Jace because I wanted to play around Avacyn.
Yep. You just want to end the game quickly, right?
Yeah, it was crazy, and then like. You know, normally nobody would just be like flashback Jace to bury it. But you like.
What did you flash back on that last turn? -4/-4 grass.
Yeah,
just in case.
So if he companies at end step, you.
If he companies or if he's Avacyn.
Yeah, I like that play a lot.
It's tough. Yeah.
So people were asking earlier if you're like a regular at the store, and I was telling them that last old school PTQ I commentated, which was about 1.5 years ago, it was a Cons of Tarkir.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, you lost in top 4, and you know it's great to see you come back to the store and get redemption today for that.
Yeah, it was actually right before Baltimore.
Yeah,
and like the whole drive because it was like a 2-hour drive home.
Yeah,
and I was just like, man, like Baltimore's coming up. I gotta play, and then I won Baltimore, which was
that's
awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was crazy. Definitely a great run event. I think the judge staff was like excellent today.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name with glasses and like curly hair.
Will Anderson?
Yeah, he was really good.
Will Anderson's great.
Yeah, he actually made some like really tough rulings.
Yeah.
And you know, some were like my favorite, some were my favorite, but it was just like the correct ruling.
Yeah, sure.
And then obviously head judge is awesome.
Yeah, John
He's
Shannon.
Like, I mean John's like been around for so long.
Yeah, we were. He used to be an level 4. He's head judge multiple pro tours in the past.
Yeah, he just started a new job, so that's why he can't like and you know Steve's great. He just gave me a discount on Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, come down here to get your Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, they got a great video game selection too. It's awesome.
Yeah, I just got Turtles in Time.
Awesome.
Some other good ones. So.
Yeah, Steve's
some nostalgia.
Yeah, but I think the blue-black deck is good.
I think your matchup against Band is amazing, and it's a good choice for today for sure.
I think you beat Band Company.
The Pariah was just too much game 1.
That was
and that was the mistake he made game 1. It was the plus.
He
plussed
on
that. We didn't catch that at first, but that's
the chat was talking about it.
Sometimes it's tough, like when you're doing because I used to do commentary sometimes.
Sure.
And it's tough because you don't know exactly what they're saying and stuff.
Yeah.
The same thing with the judge call, like. He drew his card
and forgot to flip it, right?
Yeah, but basically, I guess because he said, basically what happens was he said trigger on the stack, activated.
Yeah.
So I said okay.
Yeah.
And then he got Nissa, then he drew a card,
and then forgot to actually.
And then he forgot to.
Yeah.
But they said if you acknowledge it,
that's how that works.
Yeah, that's how it works. So it looks like we have another match.
Looks like we're gonna get maybe a game 3 here.
Wow.
Yeah, game 3 between.
Yeah, it's like because if you think about it, winner gets like the invite and there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, this is a PTQ finals basically.
Yeah.
It appears to be this is Jim Davis in game 3.
Jim Davis
great.
versus Company in game 3.
Wow, Jim Davis, he's an experienced player for
sure.
sure. Yeah, he you know has a lot of success under his belt, multiple Grand Prix top 8s, couple of big wins. And he's playing against Michael. Michael actually is the one that snuck in at 8th place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not to take anything away from him, but
he beat Kevin.
Yeah, and to be fair, Michael actually in the match that he drew, he was the one that was playing very fast.
Okay.
Yeah. And I talked to him afterwards, and I gave him credit. I said, hey, you know,
that's always frustrating when you're the player playing fast.
Yeah, he actually played so fast that he sacked the Selfless Spirit, and then attacked. And then they blocked, and then he sacked another Selfless Spirit because he forgot.
He forgot that he'd
sure. But he was playing at lightning pace, and it's good to see him here. And I mean, Jim's a great guy too, so it's really tough.
Who won?
So Josh's predictions.
Did Pico lose? Yeah, Pika lost. Mitchell beat Pika.
Wow,
Mitchell
you
beat
guys
Pika.
were predicting?
Yeah, we have a dinner bet
Real
going.
idea.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
baby.
All right, so I still can
We all
kick
chose
it
you.
to tie, right?
Oh, really?
We all choose
Or
the
no,
choice.
you-
always,
yeah.
You automatically.
Loses,
Okay, yeah.
I win.
Yeah.
Alright.
You were a wash.
All right,
So-
so yeah, you got it.
It's like Teamer Emerge, right? Or Sultai Emerge kind
He's
of?
on the four
Yeah.
color with the amalgam package.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I know Michael is definitely playing Band Company because
Yep.
I watched him.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier how Jim lost in the top 8 of the last RPTQ season.
Oh, wow.
And so he's actually playing off of that invite, so he's going to try to, close this and get it this time.
Yeah. So it looks like he put a grapple most likely to the bottom.
Yeah.
I could see him
six.
keeping it on top if he wants to flip Jace early, which it looks like that's what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's reasonable. Plus, I'm sure Jim knows his deck very well.
Yeah, they both are on a mold of 6. So.
Yeah, but Michael put his to the bottom, it looks like.
Yeah.
So Jim is on the play, which is going to be really huge this game.
Oh, definitely.
He's
Yeah.
got the
And he's got the Kozilek's return that he can ditch with the Jason. That's a really
Yeah.
big game against the band
I
decks.
see he has a Traverse in his hand, but I guess he really wants that grapple, so he's not going to just fire off the Traverse turn 1.
So do you think he brings in the Mountain in this matchup? Because I know they have the Mountain in the sideboard in order to have access to a natural cast Kozilek's return. Do you think this is a matchup where they want to be able to naturally cast it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
It definitely could be.
It's good against the early creatures, but it does
Yeah.
scale down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Deck and
Oh,
Stone.
wow.
Yep.
Jim was really counting on
he was
that.
really banking
yeah, he
on
was,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how things turn out. At
Yeah, I don't
worst,
think he
it
has
looks
the
like-
third land.
Yeah,
He'll just grapple for a land, probably.
Yeah, he
if
could grapple for a land or cycle. Or,
He just hit another Jace.
Wow. Okay, so this is actually pretty tough. Do you play another Jace, or do you go Traverse Jace? Probably
It
Traverse.
looks like he's
Jace.
Traverse
Yeah.
Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like the best play. Obviously, like, you want to Traverse for
think he's gotta get
Emrakul or something, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's times when you just can't do it.
I don't
like,
think
yeah.
Jim has Emrakul.
Yeah,
in
Jim
his
actually
deck.
doesn't
Yeah.
go up that,
Yeah.
that large.
Oh, he doesn't
He's,
play with
Yeah,
Emrakul?
no.
he's
Okay.
really in on, like,
Yeah, we
just
can
value
pull you the
backing.
list. I have it over here, I think.
Yeah, it's a very interesting list.
Yeah.
I think
There you
that
go.
might be it.
Okay.
Take a look.
Okay. Wow. All right. So let's see. So Michael has his third land. Looks like he's gonna probably hold up Spell Queller.
Yep.
He put a card to the front. Looks like a Tireless Tracker. So
Yeah, he's on
it's a tough decision. Personally, I think Tireless Tracker is probably better here.
Yeah, because there's so little removal that it's likely that you just get the value the next turn and can hold
Yeah.
up the mana.
Yeah. And at this point, where Michael has taken so long,
Jim now knows that there's two
yeah,
plays here.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, that's something that people at home should watch out for.
He
You know-
gave it away now, so yeah.
Yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, Jim's probably definitely has the read on Spellcaller now.
Yeah, not everybody would pick up on it, but
Yeah.
someone like Jim Davis,
For
who,
sure.
you know, as an experienced Magic player and probably plays some poker.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he,
Yeah,
you know, in his head, he has that notion.
There were definitely some tells there, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially the other thing is that when you're playing in a top 8, there's pressure, plus you play the whole day, so you're
Yeah.
more fatigued.
Yeah, you're a little fatigued for sure.
Yeah.
And not the spot you want to make a mistake, but it can be.
Yeah, I really want to get a tasty cake in that vending machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give you some energy.
So I think he's just gonna flip the Jace here after grappling, maybe.
Yeah, I think those life totals maybe aren't the most updated, but
Yeah, I think Jim's taking 2, maybe.
yeah, 2. Yeah, I think only 2 for the Traverse and now the grapple.
Yeah, now he gets to start loading up with the Deep
So-
Fiends.
He gets a Deep Fiend, but does he have a creature in his hand yet?
No, not yet. He's got
Oh,
Ishkana,
no.
but
Okay, so I mean that's a good one to.
it's a great against Bant Company.
Yeah.
It's really tough for them to beat it when it has been kicked with Delirium.
Yeah.
It looks
And
like
I would imagine he's got near, if not already at Delirium here.
he's making his land drops, so that's where we want to be.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
now he's
Yeah.
got a K return there for, once he does play these big
Yep.
Eldrazi creatures.
Yeah. Now you can't spell Queller the Kozak return,
On
right?
Yeah.
Can't even be Dramoka's command.
Yeah,
He's
it
playing
doesn't
that.
actually go on the stack. The
Yeah.
trigger does.
Does he have Summary Dismissal?
I
That
don't
would
know.
be a card he certainly would have in this matchup. if he
That would
does.
be
This is-
that's Good's list, right? We need
Yeah.
I got it's right here. He has learned from the past.
So shuffle the graveyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn from the Past is definitely a nice card.
It's
but
interesting.
Too many people I felt were bringing it against my deck, which is not.
It's not even
Yeah.
good
It's
there,
not-
yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
good.
I would agree.
You're-
Mitchell 2-1.
Mitchell 1-2-1.
Okay, Mitchell versus, what was that match?
Pika.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we had that earlier.
Yep,
Yeah,
Mitchell
yeah,
versus
yeah,
Pika,
yeah.
he won 2-1.
Yep.
All right. So
That was the Bant Mirror, right?
Michael gets a clue here.
Yep, for the land drop.
Yeah,
I think he does have the company, too.
he does have a company. So
Yep, Jace will take 1.
Yeah, I think if Jim can establish his long game plan of like starting to get these creatures out and going big with the Eldrazi, he'll be able to take control, but
Jim
Michael
will-
has a couple good companies here.
Jim will-
Jim's hand is really clunky right now.
Jim most likely has Delirium, right? I know he has
I think he must.
Sorcery, Instant,
creature.
Creature. Normally,
There's
like,
not a land yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a land.
There's the 5th land.
Is there a vessel? No, it's a
No,
No, it's
grapple,
traverse,
a grapple,
a
and
creature. So I think
a
he's
deep
only at
fiend.
3.
Yeah. So
He's
3.
only at 3.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for him because he wants to make those spider tokens.
The Ishkana
Yeah.
here with kicker would be insane, and just the 3/5 on its own is
I
not
like how
that
you
great.
call it kicker.
Yeah.
It's like-
It is.
There was a lot of like interesting rules questions, like can somebody spell queller my awaken ruinous path?
Which
Is that a yes?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes,
CMC
yes.
still 3.
You
Yeah.
know, like I didn't know if I could escalate off a flashback, but you could.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, so,
That-
like stuff like
yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's some interesting things with this standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
I-
complicated interactions.
I was judging at the old school PTQ they like add on here. I'm still in L2. Like I've taken a step back to like play more and do
Yeah.
more stuff like this. But like yeah, it's I agree. This standard is very
Yeah,
complicated.
it is. Yeah.
All right, I think Jim's maybe going for a flashback here to try to get Delirium.
Do you think he would flash back to grapple?
I think that's what because he doesn't have Delirium for Traverse, so that would just
Yeah.
be basic.
Traverse just gets a basic.
It looks like that. Maybe it took the 3 and he just forgot. to
Flashing
move
back.
it.
No.
He did flash something.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's in the process of flashing back.
Yeah, he's thinking what he wants to flash back. I think flashing back Traverse also takes the sorcery out of his
Well, I mean,
graveyard.
the problem is that this is just playing into.
Us, the Queller
Yeah.
or the company into Queller.
Yeah, so.
Let's see how Michael responds. How does this
What's-
work with Jace? He'll be able. It doesn't.
so
it
when
goes
it comes,
under the spell Queller, right?
Yeah, it'll go under the spell core and
Yeah.
then it'll go back to his graveyard when if
Okay.
he were to cast it off the So it's not going to get exiled.
All right, and Michael allows him to just resolve it.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I think he got to
he
resolve
milled.
it.
That's crazy. I think
I would have thought. I for
Yeah,
sure
I would have thought.
I would sense some weakness in Jim's hand here. With
I think that Michael just has a set that he wants to accompany.
sure he wants to company and he doesn't want to risk quelling something like that. He maybe doesn't think it's that important because there's nothing great in the yard yet. But
I think maybe like.
so we're getting another Deep Fiend. Yeah, Jim's hand is just so clunky. He just needs to find one of these
Yeah.
two creatures.
Yeah.
He needs like a Nissa or like a non-flip Jace or something.
Yeah, something.
So Jim already played a land.
Jim, so this turn he can't really do much.
Yeah, his hand's gonna be.
He's just gonna grab a land. Oh no, he grabs a Deep Fiend.
So his hand's gonna be Deep Fiend, Ishkana.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is kind of bad because he just loses his Jace.
Yep, Jace is gonna go down, and as long as this company's reasonable, Michael gets to start really pressuring.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this right here.
Yeah, if this is a good company, this
All right.
might be it.
Yeah.
My guess is that he's going to get 2 creatures. Let's see though.
Let's see, I'm very unlucky.
Uh-oh.
Always with
There's one.
2 in a row. All right, he hit. that is a
It's
learn
gonna
from
be-
the past.
It's gonna be
kinda
Jace and Tracker.
Okay, he does hit
that's
2 though.
That's like
Yeah.
so good. That's
Yeah.
He can flash back
like,
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He has access to Deck and Stone and Collected Company now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and every
Yeah.
oh, it was
Oh, it's
Nissa.
Nissa.
Oh,
wow.
oh, okay.
I think that's actually even better.
Yeah,
Because
that's
now
really
that
good
guarantees
too.
2 more clues, and
Yeah.
the tracker can
Yeah.
just get huge.
And he still is going to have that spell queller. So Nissa could go after Jace to
And he
finish
can
it.
attack for like 8
Yeah.
right now if he wants.
Wow, this is actually interesting because there's a chance that he just could go all after
all
Jim.
face. Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be.
It depends on
12
what he's
damage, right?
it depends on what he's putting Jim on. If he
4.
realizes his hand is
Is that
clunky.
12 or no?
It'd be 10, right? Because the
He can
clue
sack-
If he
crack.
sack
clues.
both clues.
Oh, he
clues,
sacks both. He has
12,
2
yeah.
clues. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get 12 of them. Yeah.
That's like not terrible.
I
The
think
problem
he'll take
is
care of the
that it
Jace
is
just in
terrible
case.
because you should always kill planeswalkers,
Sure.
like almost always.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that he has spell queller, so he doesn't want to be like Saxat,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think you just don't let the spell queller down, and he's in a great spot.
Yeah, let's see his draw for the turn. You know, I think that if Jim loses this, he'll like look back, and he'll probably watch this multiple times, and I don't even know if he'll think he did anything wrong because
Yeah, it's just his hand.
Yeah.
it was
His hand
just-
started great, and it just the grapples were not amazing.
Yeah, I would agree.
So yeah, it looks like he's gonna take 8 down to 10, and
Yep.
down goes Jace. His hand is full of uncast. Well, now he can cast the Ishkana, but I still don't think it has the Delirium.
I feel like I see another Declaration of Stone in Michael's hand.
Yeah, he has a deck in hand.
If he does, that's like
That's
definitely.
just almost game.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
deck
No,
you deck the spiders and
that
that's
is
it.
it.
That's
is,
it.
yeah.
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 Yeah, he just has the 1 blocker. Yeah.
Yeah, deck spiders, play land, clue. Yeah.
Did you ever like play a game where you got like the sick read? You know, I
Yeah.
wonder if Jim could like now.
Yeah, Jim's just—he's
It's
got
like
to go
watching one of
force his
those
only
movies
play.
where the guy like walks into like the dark alley. You're like, don't
And you
go.
don't do it, Jim. Don't do it. But
Yeah.
you got to do it.
Yeah,
no.
I don't. What I mean, if he doesn't do that, what's his other play? He's 1 mana short of Amalgam plus a merge.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's 1 mana short.
Oh yeah, he is. You're right.
Yeah.
That's 7 mana.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
That would have been a
I
good
think
way
this
because he
is-
has the Kozilek's return too. It would
Yeah.
wipe the
I
board.
think this
Yeah.
is his only line here.
Does at least have the spiders, but
Maybe
this is
maybe
gonna
it's
do
not
it.
a Declaration of Stone. Maybe it's an Avacyn.
It's some white card. I think it's a deck. I think you're right.
Maybe it's just like a.
If it's not, then I mean,
Yeah,
I do really like
Sack
the
a
spiders
clue.
here.
Up go the trackers.
So doesn't even spell queller. I guess doesn't need to if it actually is a declaration of stone.
Mm-hmm.
Jim should be lower than 14, but
I think he should be at 10.
Jim, he should be at.
He may have attacked
10, yeah.
with a tracker to double check that the Jace would go down.
really
Okay,
Yeah,
we're checking the life
Jim
total.
had 2 mana up. I personally would definitely send all.
Reflector Mage, the spider.
Ishkana,
and then
deck
Deckstone.
the tokens.
Yep, he's
I
just
don't
got to think
know.
through it, but it looks like that is a deck.
I mean, he also has like the Selfless Spirit.
Yeah.
That's it's 12 damage. That should
That's definitely a
yeah.
declaration
It's
stone.
Yeah.
definitely a deck and stone. I mean,
should-
there's, what's he playing around?
The-
Invasive surgery? I don't know.
If that is, I'm 99% sure it's declaration.
Yeah, it
stone.
is,
And
yeah.
and if Mike doesn't declaration of stone, this is something that happens sometimes
He overthought it.
where people do overthink things and they get so worried.
Mm-hmm. He's just putting cards that aren't even existent.
Yeah, exactly.
But
He's
I think
like,
he shoveled
okay.
it to the front.
So
Is he going to go for it?
the deck and
He's
stone.
not going for it.
Oh,
He's giving Jim a turn.
wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
This is.
I mean, he forces the.
What?
We're not even sure if the life total's
Yeah.
correct.
What's Jim's life total? Is he actually at 14?
Yeah, he's actually.
Okay, so
Okay.
he had sent one of the trackers
Yeah,
at the Jace as well.
so
See,
one of the-
again, like the previous turn is probably
overthought
like,
himself.
Yeah. He sent one of the trackers. If he
And-
had sent the tracker.
Yeah, and I know maybe some people at home are like, oh, like, you know, weak play, bad play, but the whole thing is that when you're like so close to a Pro Tour invite,
He's
and it's-
nervous. He's played all day. Plus,
Yes.
he doesn't have perfect info. We do,
Yeah, exactly.
and he just overthought himself. I've done it myself.
yeah. I mean, like, regardless of the fact that we have perfect info, I mean, Jim only has a sunken hollow.
Exactly,
Like, what
yeah.
is he gonna have? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying that deck and stone could be risky if he was afraid of like invasive surgery or something, or if it wouldn't be lethal because he wants to play Selfless Spirit to protect
But that's
from
still
the
such a
flashback
niche.
of yeah,
Yeah.
for the flashback
Well,
of
the problem is that Jim now is going to wipe his board unless he does play Selfless
yeah, he's
Spirit.
gonna play the spirit.
He has to play it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he does play it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I think he maybe just is playing extremely safe in his mind because he can't see a route of
So
him losing.
Jim still gets another turn
Yeah.
because of the Elder Deep Feed.
Yeah, so what Jim actually can do here is since that Kozilek's return doesn't actually exile itself until you actually choose to trigger it, and he has to respond to the trigger.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
You can flash in the deep feed, say trigger, make him sack a spirit, then not exile, and then the
Oh
next
no,
deep
he
feed
actually
he'll
needs
get
a
it.
land here. He didn't hit the
Oh,
land.
he didn't hit
Oh.
Because
the
these
land.
have CMC 0,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
needs 7
Oh,
mana.
yeah, we just assumed that he had the land.
Yeah, we
Wow.
did,
His
yeah.
hand is just amazing, but doesn't have mana to
Yeah,
cast anything.
and he can't play the Ishkana, so he's got to play the Vessel and Search.
I'm not sure what he's looking for, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that will really accomplish.
Yeah, he doesn't really have too many cheap creatures that could block this many. It looks like that's what he's going to go
Yeah,
for,
I
but
know.
I'm not sure that he can actually find anything.
Yeah, I don't know
He
what he
needed
can
the
find.
basic land off the top there, and he actually would have had a really a
Yeah.
good fighting chance.
He's taking a damage 2 off the Yathmai Coast, which could be relevant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if a tireless tracker goes to 6, because now it's
Yeah,
a 5.
because now he's going to block those
now
two.
all of a sudden, like, Reflector Mage is lethal, you know? Because
Yep.
that would be 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, just something like that. And,
Yeah,
I mean, at this point now, he'll go for the deck and stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling, you know, like, just because the way the PTQs are set up now, it's like you only get 4 regional PTQs a year.
Yeah.
If you're able to qualify for them,
Yep.
and then you don't want to blow it,
Yeah.
you know?
It used to have the thing where like you would live in like New York City or like Albany and you'd have the choice, come to Kerwin's one week and then King's
Yeah,
Games the next
multiple
week. And
In this area, there was a huge
it was
radius,
so
yeah.
so great. And like now it's like one type of things where it's like, oh well, now I have to wait another 3 months before I can do
Yeah,
this.
and I mean, you could go to a Grand Prix, but realistically, Grand Prix are like really
yeah,
difficult.
to go 13-2.
There's
All right,
a
well,
declaration
he has the
stone.
deck and stone, just the amalgam here.
Yeah.
And then everybody should get in. He played his lands. The Nissa should be flipping, right? Well,
He should flip the next
I mean,
I think that actually matters.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it won't matter, okay.
You
He's
can
got the
sack a
clues.
million clues, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's tough for Jim for him to go back-to-back RPTQs, losing in the
yeah,
top 8. But
that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
he's the kind of player, he'll rattle back from this. And
Yeah.
Visibly a little bit frustrated, but
Get it
that's
next time.
understandable. I've been in this exact same
Yeah,
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, it's, just you'll play more Magic.
For sure, and he's queued for the next one off of this now, so he gets another free chance.
Yeah.
The next one.
So let me see our
Alright.
standings here. So queuing for the Pro Tour, we have Mitchell Garant.
What is he playing?
Mitchell Garant won with he won the Bantmere.
Okay, so he's playing Bant.
So
Yep.
Mitchell Garant won playing Bant.
Yep.
Ben Feingersh won playing Bant.
Yep, against
And then you got there playing Blue Black Zombies,
Yeah.
and then rounding it out was Michael
Good.
Good on also Bant. So Bant got 3 out of
3
the 4.
Bants and a Blue Black Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever.
What do you expect?
So this was nice seeing
Great.
you guys.
Thanks for
here.
Thank you for
stopping
having us
by.
commentate. They
No
loved
problem.
they loved having you. It was great. You know,
Yeah,
having the
those guys
insight
are
of
great.
someone that has been on the Pro Tour before and knows what the feeling like here is.
Yeah, I'm really happy for that guy, Michael, because after talking to him when he got that draw, he was just like,
Yeah.
you know,
For sure.
so that's good. All right.
Sneaks in and then
absolutely.
qualifies.
Okay, I'll see you
Congrats.
guys.
Yeah,
Good
we'll
luck
see you,
on the
Gerard.
Pro Tour.
Good luck.
Okay.
Enjoy Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's about wrapping it up for our broadcast tonight.
Yep, we got.
Congratulations to all the local players who were able to qualify.
Yep.
And remember to make sure to go ahead and follow here and on the Twitter account, as well as you can check out the website, KerwinsGameStore.com.
Yep, you can check out our Twitters. I'm not super active on Twitter, but you can always add me on Facebook, same name. If you play Magic, I probably have some kind of mutual friends with you. And check us out there, and be sure to check out Kerwin's Game Store's website for articles by players such as Kevin Jones, Dan Ward, and myself, and Josh Perigine. No, I think that's
No, I
all.
think
for
that's
it.
all of them.
That's all of them. It was Jeff Pica versus Mitchell Grant in the Batmere, and then Gerard won, and then Feingersh won, and then
I think that's
Michael
it.
Good just won. Yeah, so that should be it.
Yeah, but we definitely appreciate
There is no
everything.
top four. This is an RPTQ, so once we get a top four, the tournament is over, and those 4 players qualify for the Pro
Those
Tour.
4 were the winners. They,
Yep,
they won.
They won. That's it. We do not have a winner of the RPTQ.
Yeah, all 4 of those guys are tied for winners.
Yep, that's it. So the Falcon has
Falcon
returned.
wins the RPTQ.
You win the bet.
You win.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I think of
Absolutely.
that, all right?
Crushed.
Yeah.
You crushed.
You
That was a
got it.
heartbreaker for
You went
him,
3
actually.
for 4, right?
That was
Yeah,
a heartbreaker.
that was a
really
heartbreaker
good.
for
Yeah,
Jim,
that was
to be
bad.
honest.
His hand was great. It was clunky. He didn't never have
Did
the
he have
hand.
an untapped land in his
Well, okay.
hand?
Well, I don't know if you got to see this. Michael had to win the turn previous with a deck and stone.
Yeah.
He overthought himself.
Yeah.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, thank you so much to all the viewers. We loved having you here. I know I wasn't here towards the beginning, but I'm sure hearing from what Josh and Max had to say, you guys were great all day.
I know what we're doing, but
That's the heart.
that's the heart.
Yeah,
we
so
love
you
you.
Love you.
The Falcon.
The Falcon.
The Falcon.
That's the Falcon.
Yeah.
That's his mating
The
call.
Falcon
Yeah.
shows his love
Yeah.
for all his viewers. Nah, I think if Jim had an untapped land there,
He needed the untapped land to start deep fiending.
yeah,
And
he
had the
has
flashback.
the Deep Fiend.
And the
He
flashback
puts
can return.
the Kozilek's Return on the stack. I don't
And
think
forces the spirit.
Yeah, it forces the spirit, but doesn't have to use it.
Exactly,
And
and then
taps
next
everything
turn.
except it taps everything because the spirit gets sacrificed, and then you still have the
next
spider
turn he
and
has
the 5/6.
3 more.
He had more defense.
He had
I didn't
3
know it
defense.
was in his hand.
Yeah.
I was on the other side of the table, so I couldn't see much.
Yep. And once again, the 4 that qualified today was Mitchell Garant playing Bant Company, Benjamin Feingersh playing Bant Company,
G Fabulous.
Gerard Fabiano playing Blue Black Zombies, and then we had Michael Good rounding out the field in that last match playing also Bant Company. So 3 Bant Companies and a Blue Black Zombies.
Band company for Harambe, everybody.
Nah.
You heard it here first.
Yep.
That's aggressive.
All
I'll
right.
take it.
All right.
All right, I think we are pretty done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
call
We're
it a
gonna
day.
wrap it up.
Pooped.
Shout out to everyone on the stream, everyone working out. My man Scott in the background that nobody gets to see.
Big
that
round of applause
Yeah.
for the
is
director.
actually just the best person in the entire
Did our camera and our Twitch moderation all day today,
yeah,
dealing with
Strat
you guys.
Daddy,
Thank you,
Maximum Mitchell
viewers.
for joining me. Thank the viewers for joining us all day. It was a pretty fantastic day. We got to see some really sweet decks on
Yeah, it was,
camera.
it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Congrats to the top 8.
That
top 4.
That
everyone
match,
who played.
That match between the 4-color amalgam deck and the Temur Emerge deck that you went up there and watched and we were commenting.
Yeah.
That was one of the most absurd matches I've
was
seen in a
great.
while.
Yeah,
Jim
I didn't
played
get
so
to watch
well.
all of it. I was around
Yeah.
watching other matches too, but
Yeah.
no, it's been a fantastic guy. Shout out to Kerwin's Game Store, twitch.tv/Kerwin's Game Store. Give us a follow
The
if you guys
best
want to
place in
watch.
gaming.
Yeah,
Yes.
any other awesome events? Weekly Ward every Wednesday.
Yep.
Some
You'll
of
see,
these
you'll
bigger
see
events.
Josh and I in there.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the area, come see Kerwin's Game Store. This is not like your normal, oh, well, I'm an hour away, I don't want to go see my LGS. This is like an experience. Walking
Yeah.
in this store feels like you're entering like Disneyland for the first time. There's literally
a great
games
place.
everywhere. There is a basement the size larger than like every
Wow,
LGS you've
store.
ever been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally, they have everything here.
Yeah.
The first time I came in here, I was like 14 years old, and I thought I was in love. Like, and it feels that way every time I come in.
Baby Strat.
Feels
Oh,
like the
plus.
first time.
Oh, it absolutely does.
All right, I
Babies.
think we got it on that note.
All right,
All right,
we'll end it
we're
there.
good, guys.
All right.
Take it
Love
easy,
you
guys.
guys.
Have a good
Have a
weekend.
great night.
All right.